same beans used to make Taster's Choice a superior coffee. Only Taster's Choice uses this gourmet blend, Arabica Supreme. The more you know about coffee, the more you'll know why the choice for taste is Taster's Choice.
All new NYPD Blue, ABC tonight. Viewer discretion advised.
Once in a great while, a romantic comedy comes along that isn't just a movie, it's magic. Saturday, at a special sneak preview, experience the movie critics are calling the best romantic comedy in years. The most romantic comedy of the decade. Among the great romantic comedies of all time. Julia Roberts, Hugh Grant.
Can I stay a bit longer?
Stay forever.
Notting Hill, rated PG.
Right now, disturbing our morning sleep, we would like you to meet a rather interesting young lady now, Barbara Hodgson, who is here this morning representing the Peace Corps. And there's lots of bliss and peace right here. Barbara, good morning. Welcome to the show. And I'm terribly sorry the rest of us are a little late for the ball. First of all, Barbara, in what countries have you served in the Peace Corps?
Well, I served in one country only, in Malawi, and I taught there in a teacher training college.
Malawi?
It's in Central Africa.
In Central Africa?
Yeah.
I guess they don't wear too much more than this in the morning there, or in the afternoon or evening either. Exactly what were your duties over there in Malawi?
Well, I was teaching in a teacher training college, and now I'm kind of on the outlook for other people who would be interested in doing a similar thing. Peace Corps is presently looking for experienced teachers to do similar things in various parts of the country. Countries all over the world.
Barbara, in what countries the Peace Corps is probably everywhere, and we wanted to use this time so that people looking in would get the idea that the Peace Corps can go all over the world. So with that, let's separate our couples right now.
Bye.
Yeah. It's twin beds from here on in, gang, right? Okay. The Peace Corps is the subject. What we want to know is this: how many different countries does the Peace Corps currently serve? How many? In how many different countries are members of the Peace Corps now working? You have 10 seconds to wake up and live. Well, you know, we decided there must be some folks like this at the other end, and we just decided to join you this morning. Let's go over to the Gallagher house, and we have just awakened them, and there's Suzanne.
My father's going to be very upset that we're sleeping together.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. 51 countries?
Right, 51 countries.
Tom.
Her father has never accepted me.
Welcome to the club. 50. Let's go to Karen and to Charles. Karen,
My
say.
shower cap is melting.
I wasn't sure whether that was an ice bag or just what. It's a shower.
Oh, but it's all sprung. 126.
And Charles is wearing one of the most famous
Yes.
gown, what would you call it? Dressing gown? Dressing gown. I don't know what. Oh, I'm terribly
No, a
sorry.
rugged actor wearing a gown.
Milton Berle.
No, this was Clifton Webb's.
Dressing.
Only paying criminals.
Criminal, he steals money. I want you to look at something that I am just crazy about. A very special copy of a very famous book. Sure you all recognize the great children's classic, The Wizard. Oops, wait, let me get some light on there. The Wizard of Oz, yeah. Now, this particular copy is a pre-publication edition of The Wizard and is therefore valued at $1,500. It belongs to our next guest today, and we'll be right back.
In the world of politics.
Yes.
Are you in office right now?
Yes.
Are you in Washington?
Yes.
You have 4 questions.
Well, I don't want to cut out my colleagues. Next case.
Very good, Jared, very good.
Are you
John?
in the federal government?
Yes.
Do you occupy a high position at the
Yes.
moment? Is it the office of the President of the United States?
No.
Is it the Vice President?
Yes.
Are you Richard Nixon?
Yes.
Wow.
Very good, Richard. You know your facts, don't you, young man? And very, very good. How old did you say you were, 11?
10.
10. Well, by golly, we now promote you to 11. You did fine. You go on over there and pick up your checks. One from Jerry, one from Meredith, and thanks very much from the Swanson people for playing the names the same. Hello, Dick. Walter.
I don't have to pay because I'm dead.
One game?
What do they think of new tape chewing gum?
Well, my math teacher.
With the and the.
Right.
Well, she says,
Type? Not in my class, mister.
No, my guidance counselor.
where?
And, everywhere. He said...
2 sticks, not tape, or you'll never get into college.
New tape chewing gum. It's 6 feet of chewing gum for you, not them.
From Hollywood, The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson. This is Ed McMahon along with Doc Severinsen and the NBC Orchestra inviting you to join Johnny and his guests, the Smothers Brothers, jugglers Daniel Rosen, and our 14th annual Singing Dog Contest. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny.
Friends will return after these messages.
In her world,
you're 15 years old.
It's dis.
I'm a gang temp, really.
Or be dissed.
I was just trying to be funny. That's your problem.
Catch her stand up Tuesday.
Goofy like other girls.
What kind of girl talk girl are you?
I play to win. They're playing girl talk.
Susan's more sophisticated.
What kind of girl talk girl are you?
The game of truth or dare.
Call a guy and tell him something gross. Never. I'll take a zit sticker.
What kind of girl talk girl are you?
Kelly would never kiss and tell.
My first kiss? Sure, I'll talk about it. I was at the movies.
Girl talk girl are you?
I, a winner.
And a flirt. A gossip.
And boy crazy. Can we talk about this?
We're so upset at Herb for not coming to Burger King, we're offering a Whopper for 99 cents to everybody but Herb. Just say,
I'm not Herb.
I'm not Herb! And get a Whopper for just 99 cents when you buy fries and a medium Pepsi.
I'm not Herb!
I'm not Herb. And what if your name happens to be Herb? Just say,
I'm not the Herb you're looking for.
Remember, a 99-cent Whopper when you buy fries and a medium Pepsi. Just for saying...
Ah, marshmallowy Lucky Charms.
It's Lucky.
My favorite part of this complete breakfast.
Let's get some.
I'll make a magic rocket and go to Mars. Ooh. Oh no, me heart, stars, clovers, diamonds, horseshoes, balloons, and yellow moons.
Yellow moons?
We love yellow moons, marshmallowy.
Let's eat them all.
Yum.
Ooh. Will the Martians eat all the marshmallow moons in Lucky Charms?
Yum.
Dick Long just said, did we lose again? Yep, you did, Dick. You didn't win any money. However, somebody in the San Antonio area is going to take a trip to the city of their choice. Would you draw the card out, please? And we'll choose somebody who's been watching over WOAI.
Do this right. What, William J. Rott.
R-O-T-T.
Yes. Box 876, Carrizo Springs, Texas.
Mr. Rott, congratulations. A trip to the city of your choice coming your way. All right, you were ahead at the end, Beverly and Phil, so you were awarded the $200. That means it'll go to somebody who's watching over KOA Denver. Who is it?
Gladys McCombs, 6476 West 29th Avenue, Denver, Colorado.
Congratulations, Gladys. $200 coming your way. These cards are going out. Be sure to send us correct ones. We'll see Beverly and Phil and Mara and Dick again tomorrow. We hope you'll join us, too. In the meantime, Jack Norris reminds you that if you think you really know your husband or wife, don't bet on it unless you're playing I'll Bet. See you tomorrow.
I'll Bet is a Ralph Andrews, Bill Yeagerman production. If you would like to participate as a home contestant on I'll Bet, send a postcard with your name, address, and the call letters of the television station you are now watching to I'll Bet, Hollywood 51, California. Home contestants will be picked at random by areas in a drawing by our guest stars. This program was pre-recorded.
Produced in color in association with the NBC Television Network.
There's something new in Colgate Tartar Control toothpaste that leaves your teeth feeling remarkably clean and smooth. Inside every...
Mission Impossible, Mr. Greg Morris. Here he is. Welcome to I've Got a Secret, Greg. First of all, what is this GG business?
Well, it stands for Greg's Gangsters. It's a charity basketball team that I organized last year with Sandy Koufax and Rudy LaRusso, and we used to play for charities in high schools.
Terrific. And is there any school or, oh, there's the word himself on there.
What's on the back of there, himself.
I see. I didn't know you had Irish blood.
Yes, well, you see, I was the boss there, child.
Ah.
And I could put anything back there I wanted to.
See what you mean. Greg, seriously, you almost became a professional basketball player, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I wanted to very badly, and circumstances, and then I decided to get in this business and give it up.
Where'd you play college ball?
University of Iowa.
Mm-hmm. Well, our panel, as the audience here knows, and now we can tell at home too, has been sent off stage to a soundproof room, Greg, so that you can explain your secret. Since they're not here, you don't have to whisper. What is it?
I'm going to play basketball against an animal.
That's right. That's happened sometimes before, in a manner of speaking, but right now it's going to be literal. We'll open the Great Wall here and see exactly who Greg's opponent is. And there he is, by golly. It's a trained seal, and a very cute one. Well, they're all cute, I suppose. The seal is named Nipper, and he is representing the San Diego Zoo in this competition with Greg and his group tonight. So we want you to meet his... Cool it. His coach is trainer Benny Kirkside. How do you do, Captain? Nice to have you with us. And here's how we play the game. It's very simple. Greg, you and your fishy friend here each have your own basket. Since you're a lot taller than he is, we gave you a taller basket, to be fair. And you'll simply take turns. You will go first, Greg, and Johnny Olson here will help us to return missing balls and keep score and that sort of thing. And I will officiate it, hopefully, and we'll see how we're all doing. Is that fair enough?
That's fair.
Okay. Now, the panel, I've just been informed, have been released from their soundproof room, and they're now being blindfolded, put into their chairs, and in just a second or two, they're going to be coming out on stage, prepared to go to work. Greg, I understand that this is the 7th year for Mission Impossible?
7 years we've been.
Hi, Piggy.
Hi, Jerry.
This is my new friend.
Would your new friend like some new Trident?
New Trident?
See? New softer and still no saccharin.
It's softer.
And see? 4 out of 5 dentists surveyed recommend sugarless gum for their patients who chew gum.
Piggy? These are more of my new friends.
Oh, good thing I have more new Trident.
New softer Trident without saccharin, recommended by moms like Peggy Fleming who care about...
I like hanging out with the crew. We make our own fun no matter where or what we do. Being yourself and being real. Sharing some laughs while having a meal.
The McRib sandwich is back. Tangy barbecue pork with pickles and onions on a bakery fresh bun. Make it a meal with fries and a Coke. Get the McRib today. A taste you'll find only at McDonald's.
McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Together, Johnny, who's the winning couple?
Joe, we have a tie with 65 points each. The winners are the Zampinos and the Holbrooks.
Good. All right. Bob, in front of you, you have a card. Would you please read the name?
Okay.
Who's going to read it? Bob?
I'll read it. Mr. and Mrs. Chester Scarborough of Marlborough, Massachusetts.
Oh, that's sweet.
There they are.
Oh, that's
Okay, and would you read yours, Hal?
And Mr. and Mrs. Harry Stern of New York City.
Congratulations to both couples. You've won an exciting week for two at a glamorous holiday inn of your choice in the U.S. or anywhere in the world, such as Denver, Colorado. Get the Holiday Inn habit and go!
And that's what we have to do. Bye.
This is Johnny Olson speaking for He Said, She Said, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.
NBC Monday Night at the Movies will continue following these messages.
I'm Bryant Gumbel. Tomorrow morning on Today Live from Brussels, Defense Secretary Caspar Weinberger.
I'm Carol Maureen, also actress Donna Dixon and author George Plimpton.
That's tomorrow on Today.
September 24th, they have the drive.
I'm gonna bust your gut open and watch you die!
They have the talent.
You gonna lead us to the promised land? Yeah, well, they never mentioned this during recruiting.
And they'll have to work together.
What's your assignment? Kill everybody. I tore him out.
to survive. The program, rated R.
Nintendo Game Boy Advance F0 ファルコン伝説ブーストファイヤー
Game Boy Advance
ロケットスタートブラストターンインがいたいけジャンプよし
He's headed for the final set of cars, and you can tell Fred's really got his mind on it.
He's straightened, like I said, a 1,200 horse engine. All he has to do is just feather that gas. He's going to fly over, and he's going to make the win. That's a foot.
Gets ready for another go at it. And it's going to be who? The Virginia Giant.
Virginia Giant coming up against Bigfoot. And, of course, Kramer, here's the situation. You got two fine drivers and two good monster trucks and a close race.
Well, you've got Deal Wilson, a fine driver. Rick Cruiser, definitely a good man in Bigfoot 4. Wilson has definitely got the worst lane. He's got that pyramid of cars leaning on him. He's got a right hand, a blind hand side turn to make. Rich, on the other hand, has a good pyramid, has a good left-hand turn, can cut it sharper. It's going to be an exciting race all the way around, but I think the foot truck should take this one.
Well, we'll know in just a moment as they stage the trucks for the second round. And, of course, the winner of this will go once again as they just keep eliminating till we have a monster team. It's close. It's very close. They're side by side. Bigfoot takes a little bit of a lead right there, but it's Deal Wilson. It's Deal Wilson coming on strong. Wilson over the hill. It's going to have to be made up if it can be made up on the jump. Rick Cruiser swings wide. Wilson has got it. Wilson is right there. Let's see if he can pull it out. Hoosier makes a jump. He pulls it out. Hoosier pulls it out. He really put the drive on the truck. He was beat by several car lengths until he went to that last set of cars. Jim Kramer, in that last set of cars, the horsepower and the driving came alive and saved him.
Rich had a little bit of trouble on his turn. Once he got straightened out, like I said, you've got a long straightaway, and if you are straight, you can use that acceleration, use that speed, hit those cars, fly off, and win the race. Deal Wilson definitely put the pressure on him. I know he had Rich worried. Rich did a fine job, really fine job.
Rich really had to drive hard for that victory, and he pulled it out, as you said, did a...
Tell the Truth has been brought to you by Dristan Nasal Mist, the new decongestant spray for relief from miseries of sinus congestion and head colds. This is Johnny Olson saying goodnight for To Tell the Truth. This program was pre-recorded.
At least you'll feel smart when the car insurance bill arrives. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Want to see your piggy bank really grow? Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Turn that one, Daddy.
You have to pay the man for the rabbits now. Can I write a check?
Have to see some ID.
Okay.
Anything you'd like, a large egg cup, you see, or a Chinese teacup, and then put a aluminum foil lid on these and put them in a pan of water in the oven, about an inch up on the side, just about an inch, and let them sit in a 375 oven for about 40 minutes, and look what you get. They're kind of a tiny, tiny souffle, but they're heavier because you have a lot of cheese in it, and they're a wonderful course for a formal buffet, a stand-up buffet, so that you can run around and do a lot of eating without spilling all over yourself. Incidentally, here's a secret for your buffet. Keep things covered with wet paper towels, that is to say the cold things, until your guests come, such as lettuce, you see. And then everything will look fresh and nice, and you can come to the door to... There we are, there's one. Come to the door and...
Done. Cake done. Stuck-on foods. So no matter how you squeeze it, twist it, Squirt it. Stack it. No matter.
I found a lot of the sentiment and the dialogue was overdone, preferring the joy of the music itself. One thumb up, one thumb down. And finally, another split, 3 out of 4 this week. On Turtle Diary, we split. I found the story flimsy with pieces of humor. Roger loved the characters and considers the film a small jewel.
Okay, now what I wasn't saying was that Turtle Diary is more subtle than Smooth Talk. What I was saying is it's more subtle than you said it was.
Oh, okay.
That was the point I was trying to make.
Of all the films, which do you think is the best?
Smooth Talk.
Smooth Talk.
Followed by Turtle Diary.
Well, at this point, they're all a piece.
Okay, that's it for this week. Next week at the movies, we're going to look at 4 more new films, including Just Between Friends, a bittersweet comedy starring Mary Tyler Moore and Ted Danson, and Highlander, a supernatural adventure starring Sean Connery and Christopher Lambert. Until then, we'll see you at the movies.
Let's go.
Sweetie, I'm sorry. I can't stand the line. We're going to miss our flight. Well, I wish you could go too. Yes, I know how much you love Walt Disney World, but we can't take you with us this time. Well, for one thing, I don't think your wife and children would appreciate it.
Okay. If you think a Walt Disney World vacation isn't the same without the kids, you're absolutely right. Call 1-407-WDisney and make the
today's biggest hits.
The way that you are.
Now that's what I call music volume 4, including Smash Mouth.
Like it ain't no thing.
One incredible CD with the Backstreet Boys, Jennifer Lopez, and Mandy Moore. When you order Now That's What I Call Music Volume 4 with your credit card or by check, you'll receive this limited edition CD carrying case free. 18 big hits all on one amazing CD. Now That's What I Call Music Volume 4, including Eiffel 65, Britney Spears, and Macy Grace. To order Now That's What I Call Music Volume 4, call the number on your screen or send $18.98 for one CD or $15.98 for one cassette, plus shipping and handling to the address on your screen. Must be 18 or older to call.
You're gonna love his toys. Now at Dairy Queen. You'll have a ball. You'll have a blast. You can make the top of Woody's chopper fly away. You can collect all 6 while supplies last. And you can get one with every DQ Kids meal you buy. The kids meal that lets you pick your treat. Or get one for 99 cents with any Blizzard purchase. So you want a Woody Woodpecker toy? You can get them at Dairy Queen.
Cats are on the move. Cats are loose. Hear the roar. Cats are loose. Thunder, 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 cats.
Now the total in the give column is $96. Now you get the coffee maker, the slow cooker, and the waffler no matter what happens. Those are your gifts. However, if they total $96 or more, then you win the prize I showed you when we started the game. And the waffler is $29. $29 in the keep column, please. Slow cooker, $35. Our total here now is $64. The coffee maker is $40, and you are a winner, sir. Well done. You kept more than you gave away, and that's all you need. Thank you, Cheryl. That's winner number 2. We have another game and maybe winner number 3 coming up.
Thank you, young man.
Don't mention it. They don't flaunt it, but we all know they've got it. The Super Friends will return.
Got a dream of America. You're gonna fly. Lady Stetson, you're the spirit. You're the fire of the USA.
They were poor but proud, jailed for a crime they did not commit. Time Daily, Gerald McCraney.
We didn't pay a bill, and for that they took our girls away.
Scattered Dreams, Sunday.
promotion.
Thanks, sir.
Owen Moore is an engineer in ergonomics at the Liberty Mutual Research Center. Owen figures ways folks can do their jobs better and safer. His team has saved the companies we insure millions. Stan, vibrating devices can cause extremity numbness. Maybe there's another way. Okay, Owen. Safer, more secure lives. Yeah, maybe not. That's the freedom of liberty. Liberty Mutual.
You can see the silver right on the back. Oh, great. He's making a call. He's making a peak hour call!
Just hope you're not roaming.
Too many restrictions on your wireless plan?
You want some of this, monkey boy?
Come to T-Mobile and talk whenever, nationwide.
Whenever.
T-Mobile gives you the most whenever minutes. 1,000 for just $39.99.
T-Mobile, get more.
So this is a right-in, right-out thing, right? Because you know I'm not a car that likes to sit around. When the world says stop, I got over 150 horses under the hood saying, go, baby, go, don't stop, what are you doing, stay away from the curb. Then the 100,000-mile powertrain coverage starts going, hey, drive me, no, drive me, wait, drive me, don't park, what are you, crazy? 30 minutes? That's focus abuse, focus abuse!
The most powerful 2005 Focus, the new Ford Focus ST. It begs to be driven.
Why don't you just put me on cinder blocks and leave me?
Team Cheerios? The Stingrays were stung by him. Down south, the Barracudas are chomping him down. The Sharks are in a frenzy for him. Teams all over gave new Team Cheerios a tryout, and they loved it. Because it's 3 awesome oats teamed up and sweetened up with frosting and brown sugar for an amazing sweet crunch your team will love. Don't forget the mighty sand crabs. Yeah, they dug right in. New Team Cheerios, the taste your team will love.
I've always believed in taking care of myself. But exercise and diet are just part of keeping fit. Unfortunately, women risk getting certain kinds of cancer. That's why it's so important for you to talk to your doctor and find out how you can protect yourself against cancer. Not smoking, doing monthly breast self-examination, and getting regular cancer checkups are good ways to stay healthy. And when you've got your health, you've got it all.
Why buy these two when Bold is all-in-one and costs less? And our new powder refill bag saves you even more.
It's a dirty, rotten deal where you lose your woman, your dog, and your wheel. Call me melancholy, baby, 'cause the rain is coming down. Oh, yeah.
Don't stop, don't stop. It's gorgeous. My ears want to marry your music. Your singing really moves me, son. You know that? Right here, just in my wallet. I want you to sign this recording card. What's that? Heineken, Schmeineken, champagne, caviar, truffles, silk underwear, fluffy pillows, French...
Shut up, woman. I'm listening.
You like my suit? It's yours.
You look like $1 million.
My ears can smell major recording talent a mile away, son. You like the limo. It's yours.
I'm hurting. Whoa, yes, I'm hurting so bad.
Michael Watson, sold out for King. We know who he is. We know this guy, suspect Michael Watson.
These toys get stranger and stranger every year.
Yeah. I mean, whatever happened to dollies and trains?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. We started filling the big kids' wish list.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's digital this and digital that.
What on earth is that,
Oh, can you say hernia?
Oh, man.
The latest toys for big girls and boys at Best Buy. Now that's a great gift idea.
Hey, my idea? He can pull that.
Good one, Bob.
Or the children. I'll kill you.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, as you've never seen him before. Nowhere to run.
Next time we go out to space, how about leaving yourself a little bit of free time? Talented people are capable of understanding us.
Ryoko, stop, please!
Kenji Muyo will return in a moment.
Get ready for a double whammy.
Let's get started.
Monday through Friday night, Toonami's taking over the TV. Here's the breakdown. Midnight, Gundam Wing, Uncut. Yeah, you heard me. 12:30 Dragon Ball Z, the greatest action cartoon ever made.
Unbelievable.
Toonami, the Midnight Run. Tonight, midnight to 1 a.m. Thank God.
Adam et Ève, première. Moteur, ça tourne.
Taking the sleigh for a little joyride to bring you 6 hours of the best Christmas tunes ever. The Flintstones, Yogi Bear, The Grinch, and lots more. So tune in next Saturday, starting at 4, to the only network that'll let us get away with it, Cartoon Network. Christmas joyride!
Danita Stokes, president of HAG.
Oh, Sega Genesis really torques my snooty. Now you get a free 16-bit game when you buy a Genesis system. Oh, look at this Powerball from Namco. Vicious tackles and spin kicks in a futuristic arena. I'll take croquet. And about this Street Smart from Traco, all this fighting and busting heads. Oh, I got a knuckle sandwich for you, mister. You want real fun? Try macaroni art. Self-portrait.
Get one of these games up to a $70 value free, plus Altered Beast when you buy a Genesis.
Now we come to the I'd Like to Be part of our program. Here to play I'd Like to Be with us is the well-known star of motion pictures, Mr. Dennis O'Keefe. I understand you are to be welcomed home from Europe, is that right?
That's right, Bob.
What were you doing on the other side?
I did a film in England. And my wife and I took a little tour. I got the throat to prove it, too, that I've been in England.
Is that so?
They really had a rough winter over there.
Well, I'm looking forward to your next picture, the next one in release. I know you did the fake over there, a picture called The Fake, and then the next picture in release is The Lady Wants Mink. Is that right?
That's right.
Has no political implication whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
All right. Well, of course, we want the panel to go to work on Dennis O'Keefe, and they'll do so in just a moment. Before the program started, Dennis O'Keefe told us who he might like to be, just in fun, of course, if he weren't himself. We'll see how you kids can do with that in a moment or two. But first, once again, here's our lovely Gene Sullivan, who makes a career out of discovering good things to eat and telling you about them.
That's right, Robert Q. A few moments ago, friends, I was telling you about a brand new addition to the Swanson line, Swanson Beef Pie. But don't forget, Swanson also continues to make your favorite chicken pies. They're chock full of chicken, large, tender pieces of chicken, plus green peas, pimentos, rich golden gravy, and an extra flaky crust. Swanson chicken pies are so convenient, too. You don't even have to thaw. Just remove from the carton, brown, and serve. Remember, Swanson chicken pies and beef pies are United States government inspected. Always look for this seal when you buy chicken pies. And now, folks, here's some great news for your pocketbook. You can save 25 cents on your next purchase of Swanson beef or chicken pies. The next time you're at your grocer's, look for this display sign. You'll note that Swanson calls it a pie-eating contest. And this sign at your grocer's gives you all the information on how to save 25 cents. Just buy 2 pies.
Now back to Cartoon Network On Demand.
Cartoon Network On Demand will return.
Questions and answers, weeknights at 6:30.
This is News 8. Update.
Good evening, I'm Tracy Berry.
And I'm Pete Schulberg. Coming up at 11 on News 8, the Nicaraguan government finally admits today that it did send combat troops into Honduras. We'll have the latest.
A California car dealer is told to stop selling cars in Oregon today. The cars were damaged in the California floods.
The search is still on tonight west of McMinnville for an escaped prisoner who has already killed 1 person.
And everyone knows dorm food is bad, but it may not meet health standards at the University of Portland. Join us at 11.
Want strong teeth? The calcium in milk helps.
Randy's leaving home.
Oh, I'm gonna miss you.
How do I like my steak? How do I like my steak? Bold, eye-opening, spicy. It gets you here, and it gets you right here. A1 Bold. Yeah, that's what I'm in the mood for.
Original A1 and new A1 Bold. They're how steak is done.
Good morning, I'm Cindy Hsu. The White House sex scandal comes to New York. In just 1 hour on News 2, we are live as President Clinton arrives in Manhattan with Congress talking impeachment investigation. The visit comes as one of Clinton's longtime friends says that maybe Hillary should give her husband a good smack. You'll hear the remark at noon. Then the story News 2 broke, the racist Labor Day float. There are now death threats being made. We'll explain. And a car out of control ends up smashing into a house. We'll have more pictures and tell you where and how. Plus, Whoopi Goldberg leads the return of a famous game show. Hollywood Squares is back on TV. And the new Scrooge for this year's Christmas show at the Garden. Wait till you hear who got the part at noon.
I'm here to announce exciting medical news. Introducing Monistat 1, the one-dose yeast infection treatment from the brand we trust. Monistat 1 is so effective, just one treatment cures a yeast infection. Absolutely nothing works faster. Doctors know the one dose keeps working for days for an effective cure. And it's the only one-dose treatment with the name doctors recommend most. New Monistat 1. One dose from the #1 doctor-recommended brand.
I'm going to have to ask for $5 million each.
Masterminds is exciting non-stop action.
Watch out!
It's this summer's thrill-packed cyberspace die-hard.
It's that kid.
Deal with it. Masterminds, rated PG-13, opens everywhere August 22nd.
Right now, you can get 2 Arby's beef and cheddars for just $3. 2 helpings of Arby's roasted beef topped with tangy cheddar cheese for only $3, but just for a short time.
Who put the frog on the kitchen counter? Ew, Sherry got makeup all over the sink again. Come on, hon, just a sec.
New Clorox disinfecting wipes. It's from Clorox, so it's more than clean.
And more or less open laboratories. Sometimes they're open, sometimes they're closed, but there's no secret, very large facility which is devoted to this sort of work in my knowledge.
Dr. Knapp isn't even sure neutral beam weapons can be built.
It may very well be that this particular kind of technology doesn't provide a weapons system. It may very well be that it could be used as a weapons system. I think it's very, very important that we understand if it can or if it can't, or what the limitations would be in the technology if this were to be used that way.
It's too much, a lot of difficulties to solve such a problem as far as I understand.
Dr. Sidorov is not sure that Russian technology can solve the problems of designing a beam weapon either.
From physical point of view, possible, but from technical, not for our days, I think.
But a 1978 report for the Department of Defense surveyed all known Russian particle beam work and concluded research and development seems to be much larger than that required for thermonuclear reactions. It seems reasonable to infer other objectives, such as directed energy weapons.
Laser coming on.
There's another, more promising way to make a beam weapon: high-power lasers. This is a carbon dioxide laser. The carbon dioxide is pumped into the lasing chamber and excited by a powerful electric current. In this form, it emits photons of light, which can be focused by mirrors into a laser beam. The mirrors are an important part of laser technology. This is a block of titanium, weight for weight, one of the toughest metals in existence. It is used in the skin of airplanes.
Laser
The laser beam will be fired at it for just 4 seconds.
Now the Martin Short press conference continues.
Yes. I forgot what I was going to say. What was your question?
Martin Short comes to NBC Tuesdays this fall.
Not everything can be as good as the original.
I wish I lived in Wisconsin.
But Diet Dr. Pepper is. It tastes more like regular Dr. Pepper.
Better, stronger, faster.
Can rain as much as 2 inches in an hour. The rivers swell. Fish, unable to see clearly in the muddy water, become easy prey for the caiman. As the rainy season progresses, the whole character of the Pantanal changes. The rivers overflow, and there are shallow pools of water everywhere. The Pantanal becomes a marsh. The dry savanna is transformed into the largest freshwater marsh in the world. New vegetation springs up from the seeds which have lain dormant throughout the dry season. The fish move into these rich new feeding grounds, and the caiman follow. Other reptiles leave the rivers too. This yellow anaconda is about 12 feet long and moves effortlessly through the water. It's an opportunistic hunter, capturing whatever small mammals, birds, or reptiles cross its path.
Frontline is produced for the documentary consortium by WGBH Boston, which is solely responsible for its content. Major funding for this special Frontline series was provided by this station and other public television stations nationwide. Additional funding was provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Looking into why it crashed so that we can prevent this from happening again.
It had been only 28 years since the Wright brothers flew at Kitty Hawk. The predominant use of aircraft was for U.S. mail delivery, and these planes frequently crashed. By the late 1920s, new airplanes had been developed that had more powerful motors and could accommodate passengers.
The airlines were just beginning to coalesce in the late 1920s. It was very novel. Remember, it was only in 1927 that Lindbergh flew to Paris from New York. But the technology was improving literally every month.
The passenger airline industry had begun to emerge, and one of the most widely used planes was the Fokker F-10A trimotor. It was made with a steel body, but it had a wooden wing close to 80 feet long, and it was wrapped in a light-painted cotton material. With 3 Pratt & Whitney 420 horsepower engines, the F-10A flew at a top speed of 135 miles per hour.
Because it had these 3 engines and all this horsepower, and because it had this huge wooden wing, it had a lot of lift.
The wing was bolted to the fuselage, and the motors were bolted to maple blocks built into the wing. Anthony Fokker designed a wooden wing knowing it would be easier and faster to repair. A metal wing needed special parts and tools. Not so with wood.
This plane's going to be used all over the world. If it crashes, you got to be able to fix it. So you're going to have a lot more people that are used to dealing with wood.
Unfortunately, this practical decision would doom the most successful plane on the market. Sifting through the wreckage in the middle of the empty Kansas field, experts in the investigation proposed a number of different theories for what happened.
The propeller was broken loose by ice. The pilot flew it into the ground in a spiral. They oversped. There were all sorts of excuses being offered, none of them the result of good investigatory work of the crash.
On May 4th, 1931, barely a month after the crash, the government banned passengers from flying in Fokker F-10s, all the while claiming there was nothing inherently wrong with the Fokker aircraft. Finally, the investigators identified the probable cause of the crash. Part of the wooden wing had broken off in mid-flight.
Step right up for YTV's Weird on Wheels. L'Oreal Kit presents the spectacle of a lifetime. Become weirdified, amazified, eccentrified.
It's like making Z's, the letter Z. She called them Z trees. So I guess that's as good of an analogy as any. From the center out. The center of the tree should be the thickest, darkest, strongest part of the tree. Because you have leaves on the back, you have a trunk in the middle, and you have leaves on this side. We'll have one more in there. There we go. I have a little family of trees. You know, if you've painted with me before, I think everybody should have a friend. Even a tree. Even a tree needs a friend. Now, if you want to reflect those, just pop in some general indications of where they are. No big deal, see? Because we don't make mistakes here. We have happy accidents. Very quickly, you learn to work with anything that happens. Take the big brush, pull down, straight down once again, and then go across. And we have instant reflections. I just use that same fan brush. It has that color we made the tree out of it. And I go through cad yellow and a little yellow ochre. Immediately we have green. There we are. Let's go up in here. And we can take that green, and let's go back and put some highlights on our little evergreen trees. There they go. All right, this little tree here. He's saying, don't leave me out. I need some too. There we are. There we are. There we are. All right. Now, I'll put a little liquid white right on that same brush because I want to lighten the color and make it a little thinner. A thin paint will stick to a thick paint. We mix them back up again. Let's go back up here. And we can just take this brush and let's just pop in the indication of some little bushes that live down here, right down in these little foots. Something about like that. How's that? That looks like a little island. Let's put some dirt there. Let's take some white, a little dark sienna, mix them together, cut off a little roll of paint. Let's go up in here. And we'll take this and we'll just put the indication here. A little.
ABC Premiere Tuesday, and Mike's on a roll, dating Sports Illustrated cover model Heidi Klum.
Let's get this photo. You just smile and say, geez.
Then meet the people behind live TV.
Forgot my purse.
The press calls Sports Night the most entertaining new comedy this fall, Sports Night, after the premiere of Spin City. ABC Premiere Tuesday at 9, 8 Central tonight.
Is your name associated as much with Bing Crosby as with possibly Faith and Charity? Ow! Ow!
Yeah.
And did you recently have as a guest on your television show Maurice Chevalier?
Yeah.
And are you Bob Hope?
Yeah.
I got to tell you something. Actually, Bob just told me something, and I think it's going to fascinate you all and also everybody at home. The Bing Crosby sign-in. You think he's ever done it before?
No. The what?
Where did you do it before?
I did it in England on What's My Line.
Isn't that something?
I broke it in there.
That was your out of town, wasn't it?
The travelingest man you ever saw. Actually, Bennett mentioned earlier that we've got this Dateline program tomorrow night, which dedicates the memorial we've spent 3 years building. The man has come to New York, basically, to be with us on our big program on Dateline. Travelingest guy's written a book, you know, Have Tux, Will Travel, and he's always doing it. And
Is there anybody here who hasn't written a book?
Fred Allen over there
I know.
wrote one.
Dorothy?
Miss Dorothy?
I would have mentioned the book, but it's a Simon & Schuster publication.
All right, Bennett. Simon & Schuster published it. They know who did it. Have Tux and Will Travel. Mr. Robert, the Right Honorable Robert Hope, it's good to have you with us.
Can't tell you how happy I am to finally have the chance to appear. I watch this show all the time, you know. And
Nice, man.
you had to bring me east for this little correspondence show so I could make it. I'm
good
happy
to have
be
you
here.
with us, Rob.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank you,
very
John.
much.
Right.
Good to see you, Pat. And I might say now that he's gone, he's not only going to appear on our program, but he helped us a good deal in the production of it. And I think we owe him a great debt of gratitude, and we're very fond of him. We'll be back in just a moment, but first, here is a Christmas reminder.
What would she want for...
That hot sauce.
In the last year, cable rates have increased more than 5 times the rate of inflation. Excessive? We think it's piggish. Stop feeding the pig. Switch to Dish Network and get a 1, 2, or 3-room satellite TV system for free, including free professional installation. Call now and get the lowest all-digital price in America. Over 60 channels for $24.99 per month.
Dad, it broke my piggy bank and my allowance is gone.
For $24.99 per month, Dish Network gives you over 60 channels, including great sports from ESPN, television for women from Lifetime, USA Network's original movies and popular series, educational programming from the Discovery Channel, family fun from the Disney Channel, and much more. And with Dish Network, all your channels come in 100% digital quality, not just some channels like cable. With a great programming package starting at $24.99 per month, there's never been a better time to stop feeding the cable TV pig.
Honey! It took my jewelry!
All right, that's it. Get the kids. We're switching to Dish Network.
Call now and get a free Dish Player DVR that can record up to 100 hours of programs without tapes. Pause live TV, make your own instant replays, and skip commercials. And if you call now, get over 130 channels, including 13 from HBO and Cinemax, free for 3 months.
Honey, hurry! It's got another rate increase!
Keep pushing. Help your mother, kids.
So call now and get up to 3 rooms of satellite TV free, including a digital video recorder. Now you can watch 3 different programs on 3 different TVs at the same time, and professional installation is free. Get over 130 channels free for 3 months, all from Dish Network, where you can get over 60 channels for $24.99 per month. Call now or visit Sears or a local participating retailer.
Henry Floyd, overall menace to society.
He's played one hell of a game.
He beats a polygraph.
He never spiked.
With Detective Lily Rush.
Come closer, Dolly. I want to tell you something.
Come in and see how we look, see how we feel. So many styles to see. For look is today, for work or for play, 'cause we dress the family.
You can get a lot for your money there.
And we feel that that's extremely important because we're able to buy maybe 1 or 2 more outfits that we wouldn't have been able to buy.
At Walmart, there's a style to make you smile.
The spirit, the excitement, the pride. The officially licensed team rings from Balfour. Each ring is crafted to the exacting standards of each league, and all are made in America of beautiful Balfour Celestrium for the look and feel of real gold or silver. Handcrafted by the same master jewelers who created league championship rings and trophies for decades. When you call to order, we'll send you a picture of your ring and a sizer to ensure your team ring fits perfectly. So call the number on your screen to order your team ring. There's no payment required now. You'll be billed just $19 prior to the shipment of your ring. Then 4 more monthly payments of only $19 each. Enjoy years of showing your team pride right at hand.
Call 1-800-367-2400, 1-800-367-2400.
At Kia's all-model sales event, you can get up to $2,000 cash back or 0% financing on a new car. Like the luxurious Optima. And the 5-star safety-rated Sedona minivan. What's even more attractive, they're backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
They're here for the all-model sales event? Mm-hmm. Did you tell them all-model means all car models? Good man.
So hurry down to Kia's all-model sales event and get up to $2,000 cash back or 0% financing.
This Halloween, M&M's will send $1 million to one lucky person's home. I don't think he likes me. Enter for a chance to win.
Best way for 2 people to communicate. What about Stacy?
Texting using your Motorola D2397 phone.
Exactly. We'd like to do it.
I sent a text to Missy saying you're our sub, and she wrote, cool. Does he have any piercings? Do you?
That's a sensitive subject, Susie.
Try and activate a Motorola V2397 phone from your authorized AT&T dealer and get an exclusive TRL compilation CD and messenger bag free by mail.
To 8 megabytes of RAM. In a clear concession to the real-world mix of computer hardware, the SE30's drives can read and write to both Macintosh and IBM standards. Incremental improvements were also seen in some traditional word processor packages. Claris showed off MacWrite 2, with new features intended to bridge the gap between word processors and desktop publishing products. MacWrite 2 features multiple columns, multiple documents, and page preview. The program will import files directly from Microsoft Word processors, and it offers direct insertion and editing of MacPaint and picked graphics. MacWrite 2 is available now and costs $249. Silicon Beach introduced its new version of HyperCard called SuperCard, a second-generation program that is HyperCard compatible. SuperCard features color drawing, painting, and auto trace, and a function called Super Editor allows users to reveal all the cards, menus, windows, and resources of the application.
It is very similar to HyperCard in that it uses the same metaphor of stacks and buttons and cards, okay? But it is a second-generation product, essentially. We've gone a lot further. Full screen, cards of any size, color, scrolling windows, all the things that people want in that kind of product now. So we're going to give them a lot more capabilities, menus, and it creates standalone applications. What that means is you can make a program look just like a Macintosh program created with this authoring system. So another way of describing is an authoring system.
For non-HyperCard programmers, Texas Instruments demonstrated Action, a graphic interactive software system to simplify developing Mac-based user interfaces. Action comes with a user interaction manager, a menu management system, and an interactive graphic editor. The program will be available in the first quarter of this year for around $2,000.
While the big hardware news...
But John Bland is awarded the win, and Jeff Morgan, the U.S. Hobbit Association starter, Jerry, should get a medal for actions above and beyond the Call of Duty on that one.
Well, we have preliminary reports that Jeff is okay.
Yeah, he was back on his feet almost immediately, and he is going to apparently stay with us. The paramedics, as we've been watching the replay, have been checking him out, and they say he wants to stay. He looks okay to us. But what a wild, wild incident. There you see Bob Chandler, the owner and the man who created the monster truck phenomenon. With Bigfoot out of St. Louis, Missouri, waving to the crowd. He'll be in the final round. We've got more mud racing as well coming up, including the shootout. Stay with us.
Daphne's desserts are so original. Look at her pie. Upside down. How clever.
Had to show off my flaky bottom crust, thanks to Crisco.
Crisco?
Crisco's the shortening that blends in easy. That makes a real flaky pie crust.
Look, flaky even on the bottom. Think I'll try it. Upside down pie? Crisco, silly.
For pie crust that's flaky, even on the bottom, use all-vegetable Crisco.
It loads easily, too. This signal shows me that the film is loaded properly, and the electronic self-timer lets us get into our own pictures. Minolta XG1, the automatic choice for action photography.
We are at Panaderia Latina Bakery. It's a really inviting place.
There's desserts from different South American and Central American countries.
Conchas.
Traditional Mexican bread.
Is it a sweet bread?
Yes. Usually they have it for dinner with hot chocolate or coffee.
Tres leches.
It's 3 milks, whole milk, condensed milk, and evaporated milk. Melts in your mouth. I think the middle is a little bit like cheesecake.
When I first came here, it was like stepping back into Chile.
Miloja.
Translated, it means 1,000 leaves, named for the flakiness. The reason I like it is the combination of dulce de leche and the custard.
And then when you eat it, it's just like flaky and all over the place. You don't look cute eating it, but it's okay.
This is miloja.
Miloja is what?
Puff pastry. With this dough, it's very important that we put a lot of flour because it can stick easily.
How is this different than the other doughs that we made earlier?
This one has eggs, margarine, and now it's ready to incorporate the fat. This is a mixture of vegetable shortening and butter. Start spreading it everywhere. Your hands end up really soft after this.
Oh, I'm sure they do, yeah.
Now we start our folds. We need to make sure that this is really tight. We don't want any of that fat escaping. And then we're ready to sheet. So now, see how a little bit of fat came out right there? Yeah. It's okay. Put that back in there. Then we poke one hole in it because it's gone through one time.
So how many times does it go through?
At least 3, with 2 hours in between each rest.
But you have stuff that's ready to go.
Definitely. It's quite thin from when we started. So now we just go. This bakes for about 25 to 30 minutes.
While that bakes, what can we do?
Vanilla pastry cream.
Okay.
So we start with milk, sugar, butter, egg yolks, and vanilla.
Vanilla powder.
It's quite strong, so you only need a little bit.
Okay.
Put this on the stovetop. Mix the flour and the cornstarch into the milk. Now, you whisk, whisk, whisk. Let it cool, and then it'll be ready to use.
Puff pastry.
All done. Trim, cut, and fill.
What goes on the base?
Dulce de leche.
Dulce de leche is?
Condensed milk that has been cooked becomes this delicious caramel. And that's ready now to have the pastry go on top. Vanilla pastry cream, spread that out.
And more dulce de leche.
Dulce de leche. Yeah, you want to cover that nice, even layer. To make it pretty.
Because it's not pretty enough.
No, a little bit of icing sugar. There.
This is your?
Miloja.
Next Saturday, it's a night of must-see premieres. First, on a brand new True Jackson, Jimmy and True plan a date. But will he be too late?
Hold it right there. I'm taking you both downtown.
Better late than never. Better late than never. Not better late and handcuffed to 2 dudes. Then, on an all-new True, one of these heroes will turn evil.
Jake is the monster.
No, I'm not. It's Haley. So be here for a night of must-see premieres. It all starts next Saturday at 8, only on Nick.
150 spannenden Spielen wählen.
Buy the Nintendo GameCube for only $149.95 and receive The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. Go ahead, take it. Shh. And a playable bonus disc. Free.
Let me get it like wow. It's like right now. It's like wow. It's like it's my life, your life. Live it once, can't live it twice. So nice, so nice. Right now, yeah. I wanna get it like. It's like right now.
Their wish come true, and you're going to be quadruplets, you know.
I'm going to be quadruplets?
Remember you made a record sometime back down by the old mill stream? You
Yes.
did all 4 voices?
Right.
We happen to have the record in the control room now, ready to spin, and we will arrange it over here so that you are quadruplets. Let's go over there.
Over
first.
here?
Yes, sir.
understand it, Dennis. I can't understand it at all. You mean to say that, you know, I made the record, that's all right. But how do we do it on television? It's impossible.
Oz is not the reason why, Jerry. Oz is but the do or die. You just take a position right over there, the rest will all happen, and you'll be quadruplets. Jerry Cologne, everybody.
Colombo.
Flavor the pot well. Now we'll tuck that into the casserole, which in this case is a brief cassoulet, along with the sauce and the broth, the whole works. There we are. And then we're going to prepare. Now we'll get ready to put this in the oven. I'm not going to do this on top of the stove. I want to put it in the oven. And I have a cup of puree that I've stirred into some more onions. I know, you're going to say, my Lord, is he putting in more and more onions? We're going to put in more onions. The puree, tomato puree, boy, it's about as far as I can get it. Get away from it. Yeah, got it. Would be stirred into our onions. I have 3 onions here that I've sauteed with more garlic. Can you believe this? There's garlic all over the place. And we would saute the onions and the garlic, and then at the last, add the beautiful tomato puree. And that goes into our casserole. Our cassoulet casserole. How's that for confusion, huh? Oh, you can toss that about a bit if you'd like. And finally, we're going to put in a Polish sausage. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have room to get all of this stuff in here, but we'll come very close. There we are. 1 Polish sausage. It's about a pound, huh? About a pound, right into the pot. Okay. Ugh, there, just push him down in. And we'll seal the top up. What if this thing explodes? What are we going to do? Beans all over the place. Well, I can think of worse deaths, can't you? We'll seal the top up with wax paper. This will cook down. Don't worry about it. This will cook down. And put a heavy lid on it. And it goes in a 350-degree oven, for a couple of hours. And everything will be ready because you've pre-cooked the pork. You've pre-cooked the duck. The sausage you don't have to worry about. Those are the 3 meats. The beans have been simmered until they're barely tender with a bit of broth, 4 carrots, a little bit of garlic, and the onions stuck with 2 cloves, all right? Then you saute 3 or 4 more onions, along with some more garlic, a little tomato puree, and that is the final layer that goes over our casserole, which is a...
Now return to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
We want to take a look at another wild ride. Todd Frolic in Rampage in the near lane. Dan Patrick and Sampson in the far lane. And Frolic almost hits the wall as he's trying to get this car shut down. It's a long shutdown area, but almost into the fencing. Well, Patrick became the second truck to DQ in round 1 out of that scary far lane. He's, of course, leasing this Dungeon of Doom truck from Bob Chandler, and we had a comment from Dan after that run.
Dan, kind of a spooky run out there. Is your vision impaired at all by those side pieces?
Well, it is at the staging lights, but when I get focused down a track, I'm okay. It's not what I'm accustomed to, but, you know, we're working around it.
Tell me about that run.
Well, I wheelied pretty good off the first set. I was kind of thinking he might wheelie and have to get out of it, so I kind of stayed with it, and... usually, you know, they're inconsistent, and I was just trying to make a consistent run, and I got a little two-bit loose the other end. I got a little close to that concrete.
The Bermuda Triangle continues on Science Frontiers. Airplanes vanish into thin air above the Bermuda Triangle when Science Frontiers continues. Take a walk on the wild side.
She just goes a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes.
Actually, it's hard to imagine how this project could have worked. Black and white has more impact, and once you...
I'm Beefsteak Charlie, and this is my nephew, Beefsteak Chuck. Chuck went to restaurant school.
He told me to put in a unique, deliciously fresh salad bar filled with healthy vegetables, homemade salads, and my own secret recipe dressings.
Plus, with dinners, the shrimp, for which my uncle is justly famous.
And thick, tender steaks.
And beer, wine, or sangria with dinner.
At Beefsteak Charlie's, we won't stop giving until you say uncle.
Uncle.
Until you say uncle.
Thank you. That little snow scare this week, the annual snow scare. A flake hit the ground. The schools were shut. People drove off the road. They crashed into trees. Cleaned out the grocery store shelves. Prepared to go it alone without electricity. A few hours. They'd all gone out and they'd bought their new parkas, and they were ready. They're out there. You guys have to know out there that it is a big competition among all these stations in Seattle to see who can do the most snow coverage, get the most, incredible shot. I'm dying out here in the snow. Look, it's just, I smell a local Emmy. It's just great. Everyone is looking for the best accident. They give an award to the photographers at the end of the year. Anyone who get, the best picture of a skid, and if you get a collision, man, I mean, you are the man. It's just, Anyway, along with that, so it's like there's no snow, but they're just so primed, they're ready. They always give us, they load up on that useless information. They got to fill time. It is snowing now, but not very much. But be forewarned. We want you to warn you. It takes longer to stop when you're driving on a sheet of ice, when you're stopping on a sheet of ice. Also, we've learned don't take a corner faster than 60 miles an hour. The experts say don't travel with a live bobcat in the car. Don't stick firecrackers in any of your bodily orifices. If you must, please, if you're on ice, you have firecrackers, don't light them. Again, it takes longer to stop on a sheet of ice. It's just like, we made it through, though. We made it through. In the meantime, the thing is, they're having a great time downtown, spending money, while the government is cutting back. You probably saw this, that Governor Lowry has announced he's eliminating over 50 state commissions to streamline Washington state government. And, he's setting a good personal example. He's letting go of his personal trainer, his wardrobe coordinator, hairstylist. Gone. He's just going to go it alone. Just going to try to go.
Makes your holiday magic. The magic of the holidays is in the giving. And gold, the holiday's brightest gift, is on sale now through Christmas Eve at Venture. All 14-karat gold chains and earrings are 50% off. Buy $50 worth of gold and get Rare Bear, made of genuine mink for just $10. Great gifts at great prices. That's the magic of Venture.
Venture makes your holiday magic.
P.O. Box 4333, Hollywood, California, 90078. And for full contest rules, just log on to abc.com, keyword AFV, or write this address. So get to that mailbox, and maybe your tape will bring you fame, glory, and riches.
The following is an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports.
ABC Sports presents, live in its 28th season, the Professional Bowlers Tour. From Atlantic City, New Jersey, it's the $150,000 Showboat Atlantic City Open. In our first match, Steve Hoskins of Tarpon Springs, Florida, will be hoping to win his first PBA event. He'll face Florissant, Missouri's Pete Weber, who won here last year. The first game winner takes on 14-time champion Mike Albee of Indianapolis. In the semifinal game, we'll see Bob Benoit of Topeka, Kansas, going for his second PBA title. And our tournament leader is appearing in the Final Five for the first time in his career. From Winston-Salem, Curtis Odom. That's our field today on ABC's Professional Bowlers Tour telecast.
In Atlantic City, we will...
Yes, the Atlantic Ocean is angry today because the northeaster is blowing in across the fabled boardwalk of this wonderful seaside city. It's cold out here, but inside one of the palaces of fun and games, the Showboat, it is warm and comfortable as a capacity crowd awaits the final 4 games to determine the champion of the Showboat Atlantic City Open. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chris Schenkel, and We're happy to be back here for the third consecutive year for another championship. A championship that was won here in September of 1987 by Virgil Hill. The light heavyweight WBA champion will be contested today on Wide World of Sports immediately following. He's going against a spoiler named Bobby Chiz. Also on Wide World today, the start of the...
Hi, this is Minimax Headroom's Pop Quiz. Blindfold, please. Quicker next time. In the blind taste test, which pop drink did more people prefer? The new taste of Coke or Pepsi? Pepsi! Wrong. I love trick questions. Coke! Coke. The new taste of Coke. It's true. You heard it here first. Catch the wave. Coke.
The Cartoon Network gives you great cartoons all day, every day, but you're still hungry for more.
Give me more!
All right, you cartoon hogs, feast on this. 3 hours every Sunday afternoon for a super chunk of one of your favorite toon stars, like Johnny Quest.
Give me more!
Or Godzilla.
Give me more!
Ooh, you little piggy.
Super Chunk!
3 straight hours, one great toon star. It's Super Chunk. Sundays at 4 on the only network that can feed your toon hunger. Cartoon Network.
Remember compliments you receive. Forget the insults. Be nice to your siblings. They're your best link to your past and the people most likely to stick with you in the future. Finally, a minivan to live by. Introducing the all-new Mazda MPV.
The acceleration of the head during the crash. We also have load cells at various points of the dummy, including the upper neck, the lower neck. We've got accelerometers in the rib cage, on the sternum, and also on the spine. In the pelvic region, we have load cells in the lumbar region, in the leg region, the knees, and also the tibias.
Not surprisingly, these dummies have a high-tech price tag, upwards of $100,000 apiece, which is why General Motors has a dummy hospital, where CTDs are examined and patched up after each crash and readied for the next assignment. In contrast to the freewheeling crash tests of the early days, tests today are prepared with extraordinary care. Sensors record as many as 200 points of impact, and each one must be wired to channels that carry the information to analysts. Between 20 and 30 cameras must also be readied in order to adequately document the event.
Crash testing is really a fairly unforgiving business. We don't have a lot of second chances here. Clearly it's destructive testing, and the test specimen is the vehicle. And when we test a vehicle, tow a vehicle into the wall at 30 or 40 miles an hour, the sole purpose of doing that is to collect information about that crash test. And you don't get the information you're after, you've just lost a significant investment.
Especially if the car being crashed is a one-of-a-kind prototype, which has to pass a safety test before it can be approved for mass production. The prototype alone can cost over $1 million. Crashing planes, of course, is even more expensive than crashing cars, especially when they don't hit the ground as planned.
of Fortune weeknights at 7 on TLV 12.
Now let's take a look at the envelope and see who is the first one to cross the bar. Actual retail value, $1,227. Mrs. Clemente, you are the winner. There you are, Mrs. Clemente. It is yours. You are welcome. Bonus. You have a bonus, Mrs. Clemente. Now, that's probably news to a lot of people, too. Now, right up here on the bar, you notice, is a bottle of imported champagne. So the first question I ask, this is a pretzel, it's not supposed to be in here. First question I ask, do you like champagne?
Oh, yes. I've only had it once or twice, but I go for it. I like the reaction.
You what? You like the reaction?
Yeah,
That's news to me. Now then, the only trouble is you're not going to really get a chance to drink this champagne, Miss Clemente, because we want you to use it, this bottle of champagne, to launch your brand new vote. Crazy, isn't it? This is an authentic gondola. It was built in Venice by the famous gondolier Daniel Manin and imported by American Foreign Industries. It measures 35 feet long overall and is authentic in every detail, including that decorative canopy up there. It's complete with golden seahorse. It is completely equipped and ready to sail. Now, all you need is a real gondolier. May we suggest you check your phone book under gondoliers, and I don't imagine you'll find one there. You may have better luck, though, when you and your husband take your trip to Venice, Italy. You'll enjoy an exciting round-trip flight for two by way of Sabina, Belgian World Air.
Well, what was it, a ball or a strike?
Do you drink La Terrain coffee?
No.
Strike 3, you're out.
朝青龍の右ひきをつくのと土地東の体が落ちるのを同時と見て取り直しと決定いたしました。危険ですから座布団は投げないようにお願いします。
Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, the video game. Before you see the movie, live it. Rated T for Teen.
Game Boy Advance SP, now only $79.99.
Submerged for centuries, Atlantis, the lost continent, rises in mythological magnificence.
Tuscarora. Ladies and gentlemen, please go back.
Meet Serena, conceived and spawned in a world beneath the waves. Mermaid majesty, drifting through dreamy depths. Fire in her eyes, love on her lips, desire in her heart.
When will you mate? It is your destiny to mate with an outsider, not to love him.
underwater warriors in a savage struggle for survival.
I will not sacrifice myself.
You will mate! You will mate!
Beyond.
Ho, ho, ho. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, boy.
Better call 1-800-FLOWERS.
A new game is here for your Super NES Super Scope, so prepare yourself because this one fights back. Introducing Battle Clash.
Arby's is doing the French dip. Everyone's dipping into Arby's fantastic new French dip sandwich.
We dip it at Arby's.
You'll go overboard for the hottest sandwich in town. Loads and loads of lean, trim roast beef on a long hearth-baked roll. Pick it up and dip it into hot, natural beef juices, and you're doing the French dip.
Come in and dip it.
French dip is one of Arby's 4 new deli specialties.
Okay, he probably shot and then he went over here, and this is where he dumped the cartridge over there.
Okay, everybody walks. They walk back on the far side of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Angle brackets, carats, dashes, and dollar signs represent doors, altars, or treasure, for instance. But graphics are not the selling point for multi-user games.
It's different. It's kind of fun to do it this way. And if you're playing it by yourself, of course, you can just sort of fool around and do everything the way you want to do it. If you're doing it with a few other people, then they want to be doing things their way. And so you might, in fact, that's kind of fun too, I guess, if you get in conflicts with the people that you're playing the game with.
Imagination is a big part of the appeal of these games. Players can take on identities of their alter egos. Getting hooked on a game like this can be expensive, but there are plenty of people willing to make that investment, or CompuServe wouldn't be planning to offer even more than the 30 games online now in the near future. For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Wendy Woods.
More. Get the 3 Footloose flavors from Clark.
Some people can fall asleep any place. But if you can't sleep because of simple nervous tension or daily problems, take 2 Somonex tablets as directed for 100% safe, natural-like sleep.
Take Somonex tonight and sleep.
And we're having a review. So we'll go back and review it also.
Cox from his tight end position is simply going to be able to drift down into the end zone.
Call stands, touchdown.
A little used receiver. He just drives in and he is covered. A man in front, a man in back, but a ball thrown perfectly and a ball well caught by Cox. His only other touchdown as a Charger came against the Seahawks. The Seahawks are saying, why us?
And the extra point is good. 1:53 time remaining in the game, and San Diego leads for the first time. San Diego 7, Seattle 3.
Santa, get with the program. It's Domino's new Buffalo Wings. Now, when you call for your favorite Domino's pizza, you can get a full order of 20 chicken wings for just $3.99. Beans, milk, and cookies.
Domino's Buffalo Wings.
Your windows gone to the dogs? Are they drafty? Frostbitten in winter? A pain year-round? Then call this number now and get free information about window replacement in a day. We're Renewal by Andersen, and we'll replace your worn-out windows in just one day. New windows in a day. Call now and learn about our custom windows built in the Andersen Windows tradition and professionally installed. Call 1-800-590-9106 and find out what a difference a day makes.
What a difference a day made, 24 little hours.
Call now for this free brochure and a $300 minimum offer in savings bonds. Call 1-800-590-9106.
See, darling, see my smooth, sharp edges, so taut, n'est-ce pas? You see I've had a little work done. Oh, I was an absolute mess, darling, until Hewlett Packard smoothed out my rough edges. Now when I appear, and I do appear, documents, resumes, I look crisp, sharp, perfect.
HP LaserJet toner cartridges work with your LaserJet printer to give you crisp, sharp output.
All the other letters are terribly attracted to me. You see, looks are everything.
Dateline, Disney. The week-long star-studded opening festivities of Euro Disney, located just outside Paris, France, culminated earlier today with the grand dedication of Euro Disneyland.
It's very exciting to be here for the dedication of Euro Disneyland. And our best-loved characters, some created by Walt, many taken from the pages of European fairy tales, now have a magnificent new home in the heart of Europe.
Euro Disneyland is dedicated to laughter, to imagination, to the young and the young at heart, to the child which exists in every adult and begs to be let free.
Michael Eisner then officially declared Euro Disneyland open.
Euro Disneyland officiellement ouvert.
The conceptual design of Euro Disney began 7 years ago at Disney's Master Planning and Design Division called Walt Disney Imagineering. Located 20 miles east of Paris, the Euro Disney Resort occupies 5,000 acres. Besides the theme park called Euro Disneyland, Euro Disney contains 6 brand new resort hotels, a campground, an entertainment center featuring Buffalo Bill's Wild West show, and a variety of recreational activities. In Euro Disneyland, there's Main Street USA, Adventureland, Frontierland, and Fantasyland. But there's a new spin to this park.
Discoveryland is entirely new, and it really goes back again to our desire to bring in very strong European influences, Jules Verne and H.G. Wells and their great stories.
6 uniquely themed hotels comprise Euro Disney's resort complex. The elegant Disneyland Hotel marks the entrance to Euro Disneyland.
The goal was to sort of create a Victorian hotel that might have been some railway baron's fantasy to build it just at the end of the 19th century. The other hotels each have a different character. The Cheyenne Hotel that's done like a Western village. You think you've just come straight into the set of High Noon. Santa Fe is all of a kind of desert architecture. The Hotel Sequoia Lodge, which was really inspired by American national parks. The New York, which is sophisticated New York. Then the biggest hotel, not just on the property, but in all of Europe, is the Newport Bay, 1,100 rooms.
Well, people ask me, what would Walt think about all of this? He would probably put his hands on his hips, look around, and say, what took you so long?
High-speed overdrive transmission. It's growing carpeting.
On Sunday, race day, whilst the rest of the world relaxes, each to his own style, and most are slow to greet the new day. For competitors assembling at Putney, there is more urgency to launch their craft after signing on in the boathouse of the Thames Rowing Club. Some tinker with their boats, checking and rechecking, stowing and preparing. Others work more feverishly to avert some last-minute crisis. All endeavour to ensure that all is well before setting out for Tower Bridge. 10 different classes of powerboat racing are represented today, with a power range from 85 horsepower in Class 4 to the mighty 1600 horsepower of Class 1. The stage is now being set for the spectacular start of the 21st Peter Stuyvesant London-Calais-London offshore powerboat race. This is the first of two starts. Appropriately, the Class 3 and 4 competitors are approaching the start line between HMS Belfast and Tower Pier. Boats jockeying for position. Some drivers aware of the crowd and TV cameras.
Great, even late. Wendy's is your last chance to win the final spot on ESPN's Dream Job, the new show that will crown the next SportsCenter anchor. Just go to Wendy's and find the code on your cup. Then log on to ESPN.com/dreamjob and enter the Wendy's wild card.
Now, Mr. X, if you'll whisper the name to me, we'll show the audience just who your famous relative is. The clue, as you know, panel, concerns Mr. X's famous father. We'll give you that little extra hint. We'll begin with Betsy Palmer.
Mr. X, is your father in the musical End of Our Business?
No, he's not.
He's an actor?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I know who I think you look like. You look to me like Fritz Weaver, but I don't know that he has children.
I don't think he does.
No? Is it someone who appears on the stage rather than film?
Yes, ma'am.
$20 down. Bill Cullen?
Is he a romantic lead?
No, he's not.
No, after that laugh, you didn't even have to answer. Is he a comedian?
Yes, sir.
On the stage more than in films or on television, is that correct?
That wasn't said, but on the stage more than in films was established.
But in television?
Yes, yes.
Might any of us know him personally? To your knowledge, do any of us know him personally?
Yes.
He's not a romantic lead.
You only know romantic
Does he
men?
wear glasses?
No, he doesn't.
Well, that takes care of that.
$40 down, Bill. Bess?
Mr. X, is he currently on the Broadway scene?
No, he's not.
Has he been recently?
Yes.
For 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad. And then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls. And you break into your happy dance.
Hi, Emily. What you doing?
Nothing.
Like that Skippy sandwich you're eating?
Yep.
Bet Mom made it because it's nutritious. She knows ounce for ounce Skippy peanut butter has more protein than salami, ham, even liverwurst, and no cholesterol. Do you think that's why she made it?
Nope, she made it because she loves me.
For good nutrition, it's hard to beat Skippy Creamy and Super Chunk. Right, Emily?
Right.
Come on, you can't turn back the clock. We live now. We live here.
Hey, Adrian, I know where we live. What are you doing, stupid? I'm not as dumb as you think I am. You know, you don't think I can smell it? I see where we are. I don't want this no more.
Rocky Balboa is back where he started, fighting on the streets of Philadelphia in Rocky V, which we'll be reviewing on this edition of Cisco and Ebert. And we'll also have an interview with director Gary Marshall, the man who made Pretty Woman, and has his own theories about Hollywood's love affair with a happy ending. I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times.
And I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune. Our first film is Rocky V, and it's a sometimes pleasing finale for the series. Pleasing when it gives us back the original Rocky of the streets that captivated us in the first movie. This final chapter opens with Rocky punch-drunk from the fight in Rocky IV.
I can't.
You're fine.
I can't stop my hands from shaking.
His brain is damaged and he retires. Then, when bad investments force him back to his Philadelphia neighborhood, Rocky turns trainer, helping a young fighter, a young Rocky named Tommy Gunn, battle for a title shot.
Wait, stop! Listen, the only difference between the hero and the coward is the hero's willing to go for it, all right? Willing to take the shot, okay? Now, this guy over here is scared, too. You're scared, he's scared, you're both scared. Remember?
Rocky becomes so involved with this young fighter, he stops paying attention to his son, played by Stallone's real son, Sage.
You don't worry about it.
I gotta worry about it. I mean, the deal was we were supposed to be tight, right?
What about Tommy? You're tight with him, too, huh?
But when Tommy becomes champ, a Don King-type promoter tries to manipulate a fight between him and Rocky.
This guy here, he was using you for the bait. He wants to get you and me in the ring. That's what he wants us to fight each other, you know, to make the money, right? He don't care about you. Tommy don't care about me neither.
That side of him in the hat is kind of sweet, especially when you know it's probably going to be the last time you'll see it. The two big fights.
Neil for 8. The best in Northwest music. Rock, blues, jazz, country.
World Acoustic and Rap. Hey, to benefit local youth programs.
Join Portland Music Association and Fox 49 at Mayor's Ball 8, April 17th at the Memorial Coliseum. Check it out.
And here's another important point. Doctors, of course, know about Bufferin, and they recommend Bufferin by name more often than any other leading brand of pain reliever. So the next time the stress and strain give you headache pain, take my advice and take Bufferin.
Animal House, a different kind of animal. An American Werewolf in London.
Now playing at Cielo Vista and Northgate Theaters, check newspaper for showtime.
More tremendous power, great wrist action.
You just joined us. We're live at Imperial Lanes in Toledo, Ohio, historic city. Mark Baker trying for his first national championship in our first match.
Style of Mark Baker, deliberate push away, just tremendous power at 6 feet 4 inches tall, 200-some plus pounds. You see that hand rotating completely around the ball, the maximum wrist action. The match is even. He can take the lead. 6 frame.
That was nearly a channel shot, or whatever you want to call it.
That's a good enough name for it, Chris. That was out of bounds for Mark Baker. He sent it very, very wide, left the 1, 2, and 10 washout. And what he has to do is get the ball over in the 1-2 area, drive it into the head pin into the 10 to convert, and the match would still be tied. Otherwise, he falls behind by more than 10 pins.
Wanted it to hook. You heard him holler it at the line. So it's his second open frame. Remember, he started out with a 7-10 in the very first.
I think he thinks he has this. He says hook. There you go. Couldn't have missed it by more than a ½ inch.
Now with a spare up, shooting in the 6th, leading by 12. big, powerful guy at 6'2", 207 pounds. Never played any other sports. Big enough, of course. But he umpired a lot in the Babe Ruth League and some of the adult semi-pro leagues around Newark, Delaware.
And he has a hobby, Chris, of coaching Little League teams. He is very proud of his Little League teams, as you see one of the programs we'll see tomorrow. It'll be interesting to watch the races once again. And one of my good men is coming back after a wrist injury. Bill Elliott's returning and trying to drive the 500. It should be very interesting. See if he can even finish.
And the non-winner, hoping for that double. What a tough break, leaving the 4.79.
Chris, as you said earlier, I bowled in the championship round 9 times here, and this left-hand lane has always had this problem of hooking too much. He has to get the ball over here in the 4-7 area, drive it over into the 9, and that 4-9 split is something we've seen many times in the championship round here at Imperial Lanes.
At Pizza Hut.
Stackosaurus next to dinosaurs.
It's Stackosaurus next, the stack 'em up, whack 'em out game. Raise his neck up disc by disc. The higher you go, the more you risk. Because Stackosaurus next could fall at any time.
Stacking, whacking, stack your chips more and more till you don't have any more. Will he fall or won't he fall? Oh no, now he's crashing to the floor.
Stackosaurus next to dinosaurs.
Is where the journey began. The ultimate human adventure. Star Trek, the television show. Weeknights at 6 on Channel 2.
Pam Dauber and Ron
have a new friend join us, and I hope you enjoy the next half hour. We've got some interesting occupations for you tonight. And for all of my friends on the panel, we'll also have a famous mystery guest before my panel and a little bit later in the program, and we'll meet our first challenger after this word from Kellogg's.
0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
This is the highest resolution phone screen ever. So every freckle, every wrinkle, every letter, every word, every tweet, tune, battle, and memory looks more beautiful than ever before. The amazing Retina display, only on the iPhone 4.
Okay, team. After age 40, we can start losing muscle. 8% every 10 years.
Wow.
But you can help fight muscle loss with exercise and new Ensure Muscle Health. I've got Revigor.
What's Revigor?
It's the amino acid metabolite HMB to help rebuild muscle and strength naturally lost over time.
Ensure Muscle Health has Revigor and protein to help protect, preserve, and promote muscle health.
Keeps you from getting soft. Ensure. Nutrition in charge.
Danger, Lost in Space on USA, tomorrow at 10.
What's all the noise? You know, the racket. Better yet, what's so fishy about these gigantic footprints? Zikes! Let's get on the bike and let's go.
An evening of odd couples on TGIF. First has Urkel found another woman.
What a cute little snore.
Family matters. Then Cody's a cable sidekick.
KG's World Party Time. Action.
Get wired for comedy on Step by Step. Then it's a prehistoric wedding.
You can throw the rice now.
Dinosaurs. Then, is Sophie growing up too fast?
If anybody's going to do my daughter's homework, it'll be me.
You will?
No.
Camp Wilder, an evening of odd couples on TGIF.
どうせ僕は操り人間。昔のあんたと同じだ。
Everybody needs some money sometime. Everybody needs some cash somehow.
Hello? Rita, got your credit card? I need $500. Now.
I'll call Western Union.
Just call 1-800-CALL-CASH and you can use your credit card to send money from home, anytime, day or night. And that can make everyone sleep easier. Western Union, the fastest way to send money worldwide.
His 33-yard try here for Ryan Suckup. The hold will come from Colquitt. Gafford with the long snap. Chiefs on their opening drive, trying to get on the board on a 33-yarder. And he got it. And the Chiefs lead with 11.5 to play in the first quarter. Bo caught one for 17. Charles ran one for 15. Coming up, Robert Griffin III and the Redskins, who trail early at home. Andy Reid has his team tied for the second best record in the AFC with the New England Patriots. And we've had a 8-play, 52-yard drive with the field goal by Suckup. Miles Paul is 84. Waiting for the kickoff. 3-0 Kansas City. And here's the boots by Suckup. Miles Paul will bring it about 3 yards out of the end zone. And is finally taken down on the play by Kansas City's Josh Martin. 24-yard return. And here comes Robert Griffin III. He is over 3,000 yards passing so far this season. He was 24-32 against the Giants on Sunday night.
And what did he tell us? He says, we will not let the 3-9 record define us. He said he wants to go out and play with a smile. He wants to get better performing in the pocket at the quarterback position. He says, and get back to just enjoy winning. The real key component to that, Kevin, is the winning part. They've got to be able to win games for it to be enjoyable.
The ball is at the 21. I think. In the pistol, the read option. RG3 on 1st and 10. Low and looked like uncatchable to Joshua Morgan. 2nd down and 10. A lot of players changing their cleats on that line in particular. Williams at the left tackle was a Pro Bowler a season ago. And in terms of their playmakers, Pierre Garçon is having a career year. 84 catches so far.
Hey, Toucan Sam, how would you make milk more fun?
Why, with Fruit Loop cereal straws, of course.
Just dip them in and sip, sip, sip. And pull them out and munch, munch, munch. All together now, dip, sip, munch. Fruit Loop cereal straws, colorful fruit-flavored cereal with a creamy coating inside. So fun to dip, sip, munch.
5 plays. The reason it was a 60-yard drive was that Steve Cox got off a 22-yard kick. And the reason he got off a 22-yard kick, he was worrying about the special teams of the Seattle Seahawks. So it all ties together. But Washington still has the lead, 19-14, and it took Seattle only 44 seconds. 44 seconds is all that it took for that touchdown drive. Now, do you go with the onside kick here? Minute 50, you got 2 timeouts left. Or do you gamble on your defense?
No, I think I'd gamble on my defense if I was Seattle. A good kick down the field. The Redskins are prepared for an onside kick, but here I think I would go down the field. It's a tough position to be in, waiting for this kick to come down when you're on this front line.
And Jenkins goes out of bounds and stops the clock at 1:48. Major mental error. And now for an update, let's go to New York and Bob Costas. Wait a minute, we may not be going to New York. Phones are ringing. We're going to stay right here. All right, sorry about that, Bob. You'll be seeing Bob throughout the second half of the doubleheader.
And at halftime.
Oh, yeah. And at halftime of the second game. Oh, yeah. 1:48 left to go. Washington has the ball on their own 26. First down. Seattle with 2 timeouts left. That stepping out of bounds is not that big a deal because the clock would have stopped on the exchange anyway. And Griffin with a yard. And Seattle's going to stop the clock right here. Now let's go to New York. And here's Bob Costas. Bob?
All right, Charlie, this time it's for real. In Buffalo, Kansas City's Todd Blackledge with his second TD pass of the game. Little flip here to the tight end, Paul Kaufman. He tumbles in. The point after ties it at 17, and Kansas City has the ball back now with about 2 minutes left.
Okay, thank you, Bob. And here is the situation as far as timeouts are concerned. Our thanks to Joe Ban, Chick Beaker, Mitch Marcus.
It's a double bill of comedy. First, Bill Murray.
Hi, I'm Bob.
As a patient who won't go away.
You're back. No, I'm not. You're not? No, I'm not.
He's never gone!
Is this some radical new therapy?
You see?
What about Bob, Saturday?
I'm failing!
Then on Sunday...
You're incredible.
Who told you? Bill Murray's got one day to convince Andie MacDowell he's not the jerk she thinks he is.
You speak French.
A romantic comedy, the network television premiere of Groundhog Day on a double bill of comedy next weekend on ABC.
The Daredevil novellas who speed through hoops of play.
No, I've heard of these strips. Well, they're from Pond's. Pond's Clear Pore Strips deep clean to unclog pores and gently lift blackheads away. So all the stuff you don't want on your nose ends up on the strip. It's like a veritable blackhead magnet. Pond's Clear Pore Strips. So long, blackhead. From the Pond's Institute.
A peach sorbet, a watermelon sorbet, a ginger ice cream, and a champagne ice, all for the celebration of sherbets and ice creams at the table. And I urge you join us again next time when we'll cook some more. Till I see you again, this is the Frugal Gourmet. I bid you peace. Bye-bye.
Family man, businessman, a can-do man with a plan. He's Jack, and he's not afraid to tackle the tough issues. Education, environment, milkshakes.
I'm for them. That's why my classic shake combo has a big juicy jumbo jack, fries better than McDonald's, and a thick milkshake made with real ice cream. My opponent is a milkshake-hating extremist, but not me. I have a golden retriever.
Paid for by citizens who like classic shake combos.
In a brand new episode of The Truth, something unthinkable happens.
Oh, Jenny, I am so sorry.
Felix gets a girlfriend.
That's okay, come on back.
But is his new crush
Your eyes are beautiful.
under the control of an ancient spell?
Felix, she's not kissing you because she likes you. She's kissing you because she's a zombie.
So, find out in a brand new episode of The Truth, next Saturday night at 9, only on Nick.
Magic of the holidays. It's captured in holiday cards, holiday carols, and holiday windows. Now MasterCard offers a little magic of our own. Master Values, an exclusive program that saves you up to 25% instantly when you use MasterCard.
Well, Rick, what do you think of Germany so far?
Bill, this isn't Germany. We're at Schroeder's.
It sure feels like Germany.
We're here to tell everyone about the Safeway and KABL Oktoberfest sweepstakes.
We are?
Yes, KABL and Safeway are giving away 25 free trips for 2 7 days and 6 nights to Germany at a Sheraton hotel, and they'll fly American Airlines.
Something special in the air.
Anyone over 18 can enter the Safeway and KABL Oktoberfest sweepstakes. Then listen to KABL to see who wins.
It sure feels like Germany.
Dreamed of finding streets paved with gold, but many became fodder for America's great industrial engine. In the Pennsylvania coal fields, the Chicago stockyards, the Pittsburgh steel mills, They worked 12 to 16-hour days, 6 days a week, often for as little as $1.35 a day. Prey to disaster of every kind, thousands a year were maimed by machines, burned by molten steel, buried by mine explosions.
They're worried about surviving. There's no safety net anywhere. There's no death benefits. There's no welfare. There's no nothing like that. If the man of the family dies in the factory, as many thousands did, you're in trouble. But I think if you probed people most days and said, are you optimistic about your own future? Probably most people would say, yeah, this is America. Of course. Even though if you said, but what happens if, well, yeah, it could be bad luck.
The immigrants spread out all over the country, even to the mountains of Utah. The hardscrabble town of Schofield was rich in coal, and there was plenty of work for those who wanted it. In 1900, America ran on coal. Every train, every steamship, and almost every factory was powered by coal. And nearly every American home needed coal to make it through the winter. The nation depended on the tens of thousands of men from all across Europe who worked deep within the earth.
Companies would send out representatives to different nationalities. First they'll go to the Greeks, then the Italians, then the Finns, and they would pay their way over here to work.
Abram Luoma had come to America to escape conscription in the armies of the Russian Tsar. In 1900, Abram and his 5 brothers were among the hundreds of Finns working in the winter quarters mine in the mountains above Schofield.
My great-grandfather's sons, they were told, like many other immigrants, America was the place to go and have all the luxuries of life or something.
2000 Seville STS. More than just a pretty face. Enhanced with StabiliTrak 2.0, it handles superbly on dry roads, wet roads, and outperforms BMW, Lexus, and Mercedes-Benz. On ice. Seville STS, sleek styling and powerful control. The power of and.
Looking for good gas mileage? Well, let's set the record straight. When it comes to full-size, 6-cylinder pickups and vans with standard transmissions, nobody tops these economical Chevys. And nobody has a better V8 mileage rating, either. Same with El Camino. Nobody in this class beats it. So, if you want good gas mileage, see your Chevy dealer right now.
And now you could save hundreds of dollars on a wide selection of pickups, vans, Blazers, and El Caminos.
Be standing, watch it. There's the 2, 4, 8, 10. A pin comes flying back by, takes out the 2 pin, makes it a little bit easier. He has to fit the 4 on the left side, into the 8, into the 10. Boom.
So it's a disastrous open frame early in our very, very first match. The winner of this game, if you just joined us, will meet Rod Pasteur. He is from Miami now, and then after that it will be Philip Ringener of Big Springs, Texas, West Texas, and our tournament leader is the big left-hander from California, Steve Cook. Marshall, a solid 10 on the left.
Houston, a great all-around athlete in high school. He was a high school basketball player, a 6 handicap golfer, and just a wonderful talent, and he's carried that over into the bowling game.
Houston checking his slide line on the left lane. He won the United States Open in 1982 in Houston. His last win was in Arizona, Tucson. Now, Holman, who opened with a strike, has a spare up in the second, shooting in the third. Sharply hooked into the pocket a little high, leaving the 7.
As the ball drives in the pocket, watch the action of the 4 pin, the second pin on the left-hand part of your screen. Bang! Holman hits so solidly He drives the 4-pin straight back past the 7. Normally the 4 will take out the 7. So Holman, even though he'll have a lead after converting the spare of 15 pins, has not had anything really good happen for him yet.
Well, Marshall Holman continues to mark. Earlier we had a chance to ask Marshall, if he could, what would he change in professional bowling?
Well, I think I'd strive for the same thing the PBA strives for, and that's just more equity between left-handers, right-handers, straight shooters, hookers, and make it a total shot maker's game.
Would you do the same, Bo?
I agree. That's what all of bowling.
Slow down.
Listen to your mother.
Recognizes kids who make a difference. Nominate someone at Kohl's or visit KohlsCorporation.com. Kids ages 6 through 18 can receive up to $5,000 in scholarships. Nomination period ends March 15th. Visit a Kohl's store for more details.
Did you see the latest Nintendo newsletter?
Whoa, nice graphics. I'd like to get my hands on that game.
You mean you haven't played it yet? We can play it on my Nintendo Entertainment System. It's The Legend of Zelda, and it's really rad. Those creatures from Ganon are pretty bad. Octoroks, Tektites, levers, too. But with your help, our hero pulls through. Yeah, go Link, yeah, get Zelda.
Awesome.
Intense.
The Nintendo Entertainment System. Your parents help you hook it up. The Legend of Zelda sold separate.
Pokémon ポケモンたちと一緒に新しくなった冒険へ出かけよう。ポケットモンスター、ファイアレッドとリーフグリーン。ポケモンたちと一緒に新しくなった冒険へ出かけよう。ポケットモンスター、ファイアレッドとリーフグリーン。ワイヤレスアダプタ付き。
ゲームボーイアドバンス。
ねえ、これ見て。
どんな出会いが僕たちを待っているんだろう。全く新しい冒険がここから始まる。ポケットモンスター、ルビーとサファイア。
See your wife. What are you talking about?
Murder.
Your wife's been killed.
Dr. Steele, you've got to believe me. I didn't kill Maria.
Pretty messy, throwing acid in the woman's face and killing her. Motive could be jealousy.
What do you think, Doctor? I wasn't jealous of my wife.
Hundreds of educational games, books, and cartoons in just 1 app. Download now. Play Kids. Smart parents, smarter kids.
In every backyard, it's time to play. Backyard sports for your computer with popular pro players as kids. Baseball, basketball, football, soccer, hockey. Games sold separately, rated E for everyone.
When the airship is finally ready to fly, the weather turns bad. Monk is at a crisis. His backers are giving him an ultimatum. Fly within a week or we're pulling out. On the appointed day, test pilot Giovanni Abrati decides to postpone the maiden flight because he feels the wind is still too strong.
They weren't getting 10 knots out there. Bastards. Right, isn't it? They weren't getting 10 knots out there. Ron says he's happy. I know bloody baloney crap about. You know, we won't get any lulls because the sun's coming up.
It's constant. 15 up there, which I said would be less than.
Let's get Jim. Can you know, it's going out in any case, whatever. I'll take responsibility for the bloody thing. Is everyone ready? We're going, I think. I have to get a move on because The wind's going to get up again shortly. They've got a strong wind warning, though, coming up, so if we don't get it out in a minute, we'll... Get it out there, up to the... Let's move it, otherwise we'll miss the next bloody lull. Oh, God, I mean, we could have gone at 8. He said, oh, well, it won't drop down. Of course, it did do for half an hour. Now it's picked up again. You've got to be on there and ready to go. Don't be too pedantic about it, Giovanni. Through!
Now the sun is setting. If we don't move now, we're never going to do it. We have to hurry, huh?
OK.
Slack the line! Slack the line! Hands off!
Of lime, orange, wild cherry, lemon, and pineapple, so full of life, famous.
What happens when an asteroid arrives?
Picture yourself standing about 20 miles from here, about 25,000 years ago. Out of the southeast, a nickel-iron asteroid about 150 feet across is approaching the Earth. As it plunges into the atmosphere, it forms a brilliant meteor, which grows brighter and brighter and becomes finally much brighter than the sun. In fact, it grows so bright that you will be on the verge of being scorched. You will want to take off your shirt and throw it on the ground. At that point, the meteorite strikes the ground, and it sends a shock wave with pressures of millions of atmospheres down into the rock and back up into the meteorite. The meteorite burrows into the ground like a hydraulic jet, forcing the rock aside, flattening, and then being deflected and thrown back out again. So from the moment that the meteorite strikes, a spray of shock-melted meteorite and vaporized meteorite and melted and vaporized rock squirts out at high velocity, a velocity of several miles per second. The spray continues to rise, and it forms a plume that grows bigger and bigger and bigger. Finally, the plume becomes about 4,000 feet across at the base, and by that time, the top of the plume of material ejected is extending many miles up into the atmosphere. In fact, most of the atmosphere has been blown away, having been pushed away by the shock wave made by the meteorite. The first thing that will happen to you after being nearly scorched is that
You simply can't do several things at once and expect to do them well. That's why at Crédit Immobilier de France, mortgage financing is our only business. Crédit Immobilier de France, the mortgage specialist.
Did you give him my message?
Maybe. Sorry to keep you, Sephiroth.
I'm burning! Ah! I'm on fire! Help!
I said if y'all ready for this next battle, let me hear you make some noise. Right.
A party over here, a party over there, wave your hands in the air, shake hey.
King's Crown Ford and the Budweiser Monster Motor Nationals explode into the Jacksonville Coliseum. January 7th, 8th, and 9th. Here they come. Wild wheels and high-powered monsters battling side by side. Incredible. Diabolical dinosaur and prehistoric predator. Transilla. The transforming Tyrannosaurus transforms into a giant car-eating carnivore. Plus the unbelievable motorcycle jump over monster trucks. Friday, January 7th, TLV 12 Family Night. $3 off all tickets. Power, Thunder, and Transilla.
A religious extremist.
You want nothing less than to destroy us.
Sets off a wave of terror.
I understand my duty to defend the Bajoran faith.
A holy war that could divide the station.
I think I've given you all the support I can, short of...
It's not enough, and bring the Federation to its knees. We are neither the enemy nor the devil.
We'll see.
Next time on Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Saturday at 6 on Fox 30, WAWS.
Introducing the Shakey's Pizza Keeper. It helps keep our pizza hot and fresh, even if it takes you a little while to get home.
Protect yourself, but be real careful shooting outside, okay?
Well, I heard cars leaving.
Yeah, that was us.
Cars leaving after I shot one time.
Okay.
And they sounded like they were racing their cars. Oh, God.
Okay. Well, you did the right thing, but be careful shooting outside, okay? We want you to have your weapon, and I encourage you to use it for your safety, but, you know, if we're walking around the building, you might shoot one of us, okay? So go ahead and use your weapon, but be real careful shooting outside. I want you to use it kind of in the house if you can.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to leave this on your bed for you over here on the nightstand. Man, if we're going to put you down for extra patrol, we'll come by and check on you, okay?
Okay.
Be careful.
I certainly will appreciate it.
Okay. In Fort Worth, we've had several incidents over the last 5 or 10 years and in Texas, where complainants shoot officers. You know, we're in dark uniforms and we'll be checking around the perimeter, and if they're elderly like she is or mentally unstable and they're afraid and their adrenaline starts pumping, they lose, you know, their ability to think clearly. And the next thing you know, we've got a dead officer or a wounded officer. So when we went around the corner and heard the shots fired, I don't know if it's the actor shooting the complainant. I don't know if it's the complainant shooting the actor. I don't know if it's the actor shooting at me. Luckily, in this case, we were able to see her on the back porch with the weapon. I was able to secure the weapon. I still don't know at that point if she had shot the actor at the garage. She was just shooting at the garage at noises. But, you know, to be shooting indiscriminately at a garage, you know, it could have been me this time. So it's a little unnerving.
One of them come across a vehicle that's possibly stolen. If they give us the right tag, it's going to be stolen. Okay, we're coming up now.
So you got Obi with you?
Yeah.
hard on me.
He's out of the middle and into the movies.
Why don't you just tell the whole world?
Malcolm in the Middle's Frankie Muniz in My Dog Skip.
What are you looking at?
From Warner Brothers Family Entertainment comes the story of a dog.
Get that dog out of here!
Who's one boy's hero.
Chicks really dig him.
And everyone's friend.
Look at that dog.
My Dog Skip. Rated PG. Now playing at a theater near you.
Back to Double Dare. You folks at home who are paying attention saw the right answer there, which means we don't get a chance to go on to some of our other clues, and a couple here that I really like. Warthogs are sometimes blinded by theirs, and this one, Brother Giovanni Battista Orsenigo kept all the ones he removed, totaling 2,744,000, and the right answer, players, was teeth. Neither one of you has amassed any money in this game, and that's all right, because we're going to pick things up with 0-0 on our next show. We'll look for you then, and you too. Join us, won't you? Till then, have a good day. So long, everybody.
Today's consolation prizes are first, Mr. Coffee with revolutionary coffee saver, 10 cups to 2, great coffee taste without coffee waste, and genuine Mr. Coffee filter. And cosmetics from Mary Kay for great skin care, including an assortment of Mary Kay creams, lotions, glamour, makeup, and men's toiletries. And a two-test shop vac. Picks up water, dry materials inside or out. Two-test shop vac exclusively from True Value Hardware Store. And a warming tray, and a supply of Kentucky Fried Chicken. The Colonel's secret recipe of 11 herbs and spices makes this Kentucky Fried Chicken real goodness you can bring home tonight. This is Johnny Olson speaking for Double Dare, a Mark Brooks and Bill Todman production. Stay tuned for Love of Life next over most of the CBS stations.
Family Feud welcomes the quarterbacks of the NFL in Family Feud's preview of the 1994 Super Bowl. For the American Football Conference from the New York Jets, Boomer Esiason. From the Buffalo Bills, Jim Kelly.
Some poor old mother is waiting for her who has seen better days.
Fox McCloud in Star Fox, only for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
It's the bad guys versus pro stars. The bad guys must stop Jordan's supersonic leap and slam dunk, Bo's ball-crushing swing, and Gretzky's smoking slap shot. Game time Sunday at 9:30 on Cram TV.
Left Peru and sailed to England alone. There he met the Browns and they took him home. Now a new life has begun. He's Windsor Garden's favorite sun, 'cause he always does his best to help everyone. When a problem appears, he never misses a beat and always finds a way to land on his feet. Has his very own unique point of view. Looks at everything as if it's brand new. He is friendly and polite, and he tries to do things right. But he gets in sticky messes just the same. He's curious and speaks his mind, but trouble's never far behind. It's Paddington Bear, he's one of a kind.
And Denise to follow tonight on CBS 19 News.
Trix yogurt. That should put a spark in this park.
Awesome!
With 2 fruity colors in every cup. Like strawberry banana bash and raspberry rainbow. So you can flood your world with color. How about me?
Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids.
Delicious Trix yogurt from Yoplait. It's colorful fun.
My sister works here. Says they serve Reese's for breakfast. I'm thinking candy.
She says not candy. Reese's Puff cereal.
Before I can order, she delivers. That Reese's cup taste, filling my spoon, one bite, and I'm spinning in a rush of peanut butter and chocolatey taste.
And Reese's Puffs is part of a good breakfast.
I love them so much, I'll leave her a tip. Reese's Puffs.
It's Reese's for breakfast.
Own pictures.
Willkommen.
He gave his life to the sea.
What the hell is that?
His heart to his shipmates. And his soul
Come on over here, honey.
to adventure.
These pipes are clean!
Where his brain ended up is anybody's guess. Chris Elliott.
Were you dropped on your head as a toddler?
Cabin Boy.
When I return, I shall be a cabin man.
Rated PG-13. Now playing at a theater near you.
But would you do the garter again? Cleopatra had 5 garter snakes and an ass. Did you put an S on snakes? No. Or were you just hissing? Yes, we always put an S on. I heard the hiss. Let's check the scoreboard and see how we stand after the last 2 players. Sebastian Cabot took 80, Rudely 49, and the champs are going ahead by a little more by 37 seconds. Congratulations. We'll go on with the second half in just a moment, but right now, let's check with our checkerboard impresario, Lee Goodman.
Hurry, hurry, hurry. Step right up, ladies and gentlemen, and see the greatest movie of all time. The Check Story. The fascinating saga of wheat checks, rice checks, and corn checks. The bite-sized cereals in the checkerboard packages. Yes.
Hey, man, mister, I'd sure like to see that.
Well, you're on, fella. No, not here. Over here at the machine.
Oh, yeah?
Now, which of these 3 fascinating movies would you like to see first?
Well, let's see. How about rice checks? Huh?
Great choice. Step right over there.
Yeah.
Put your peepers in the eyepiece there.
Yeah. Now what do I do?
Turn the crank, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you'll notice that rice checks consist of light little waffles of toasted rice. Each one has a crisscross construction that lets the milk or cream circulate and percolate through each and every check. Lets the milk and sugar get in, lets all that indescribable rice check flavor get out. And rice check's special construction keeps it crisp and crunchy right down to the bottom of the bowl. Well?
Gosh, that was a very exciting movie.
Well, I thought you'd like it.
Except for one little thing.
What's that?
Why did they fool with the plot?
The plot?
Yeah. We see now in the book, the milk goes on first and then the sugar, remember?
In the book, that's right, I remember that.
And besides that, the bowl was bigger and there were more checks and less milk.
That was in the second chapter.
That's right.
I remember that.
But Hollywood went and had to rewrite the whole thing, didn't they?
Turn out the lights.
Oh, I'm scared.
Oh, my.
Sorry, guys. It's our turn for the taste of cinnamon and sugar.
The crunchy part of this complete breakfast.
We can't resist.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Neither can we.
With Randy Travis, Beth Nielsen Chapman, and for the first time, Dr. Seuss's Grinch. He'll steal your heart away right here on NBC.
The world of Nintendo is such a blast, and the only way to get one of these free Nintendo posters is with 2 proofs from Kellogg's Cinnamon Mini Buns. Now you can show off the power.
Mom. Come on, Mario. Come on, Mario, jump!
Want to grow? The calcium in milk helps bones grow.
And now, it's time for us to meet our first challenger, but as I warned you, panel, we had some special tricks to play, so you have some blindfolds to put on, and the blindfolds are in place. We'll ask our first contestant to enter and sign in, please. Mr. X, how do you do? You join me here? And I'm going to assume that you know how we keep our scoring system here, so we have one little task to perform. That is to let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. Panel, we can tell you that our guest is salaried and deals in a service, and we'll begin the general questioning with Arlene Francis.
Has your name been in the newspapers in the past week?
Nope. 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Valley.
Is your service anything to do with electronics?
Nope. 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Has your service anything to do with show business?
Nope. 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Sir.
Has your service anything to do with the sports world?
Nope. 4 down and 6 to go, Miss Francis.
You do work, however.
Yep.
Gotta get one yes.
Yep.
Yep. Are you in the business world?
Yep.
Yes?
Yes, I would say the business world. It is covering a vast amount of territory.
Would you be considered a man in a profession?
Nope. That makes it 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Valley.
Is your service anything to do with food?
Nope. 6 down and 4 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Well, do you work in an office?
Nope. 7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Sir.
I always use the same moisturizer my mother used, thinking, works for her, it'll work for me. Boy, did I have a lot to learn. Introducing Clarion Skincare. You see, Clarion has 4 different moisturizers, so their computer analyzed my skin. Turns out what's right for me is oil-free moisturizer, not what my mother uses. Ultra pure skincare, personalized for you. Mom always told me to take care of my skin. Now I do it right. New Clarion Skincare, looking great and knowing it.
Tender. Now let me drain these, and we can then, let me turn my razor clams, frying and simply in an egg wash. And an egg wash means 2 eggs and several tablespoons of water. There we are. Oh, those will be done in just a second. Smith, don't overdo the egg clams. I mean the fried clams. That's terrible. All right. Now in our other pan, I'm going to bread. Where did I put my clams? Here we are. I'm going to bread some of these beautiful little butter clams. They're very small, you see. Butter clams, or, of course, you can use the manila clam. I think these are manillas. We'll just lightly bread them with cracker crumb. That should be enough. And then we're going to fry them. Excuse me. Losing my towel here. I need that. You see I'm not wiping my hands on my apron? Would you stop writing those letters? Actually, I do love your letters. You know that. But the letter about the don't wipe your hands on your apron really cracks me up, and I'm still getting them. I told you several times I can't stop, because that's the way I cook. All right, these will melt down. Again, I'm going to put a tiny bit of olive oil or peanut oil in the butter to keep it from burning. See, olive oil burns at a much higher temperature. As a matter of fact, it has to get very hot, so you really don't have to worry about it. I'm going to change burn. Look at the clams. They're done. The big ones are done. I'll get them off the burner. Aren't they gorgeous? Look at them. They're done now. Let me serve these. Quickly, 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 before we lose out. I don't want to burn them. There we are. If you overcook these, they have a tendency to be a little bit tough. You can understand that. Some of you tell me that you don't like squid, and you know I love squid. So the problem is that you're cooking the squid too long. You don't want to do that. Let me get a lemon wedge on these. That's how you would serve them. Oh, these are terrific. One of my favorite memories from my childhood. And you understand that in this series, what we're trying to talk about is remembering those dishes that you enjoyed so much as a kid. And this is really one of the classics. Fried razor clams. And don't even...
The evening are out, and the radio has dispatched a car or two to disperse them in lieu of arrest.
And there's more from the cops at 5 on Monday. But after the break today, another fascinating instalment of Storm Stories.
Somewhere beyond the heavens.
Traditional frosting for German chocolate cake.
Spread the news.
In a ready-to-spread frosting, only from Pillsbury. New Frosting Supreme Coconut Pecan and Coconut Almond with real coconut and nuts. Try it on new Pillsbury Plus Oats and Brown Sugar Cake, too.
Then spread the word.
Delicious.
The freshest ideas are baking at Pillsbury.
$1,000 Santa Anita Handicap brings out California's biggest racing crowds. Movie stars on every hand for the world's richest race.
It was probably the richest sporting event in the world. $100,000 all to the winner. A massive amount of money. This is the time when the average American is earning less than $500 a year.
On the afternoon of February 27th, 1937, a record crowd of 60,000 spectators turned out for the third annual Santa Anita Handicap, better known as the 100 Grander. Despite his recent victories, most professional odds makers still considered Seabiscuit a long shot. The smart money was on Rosemont, the lightning-fast 5-year-old that had recently trounced 1935's Triple Crown winner. Nearly $400,000 was riding on the contest, an all-time betting high for Western racing. The entire field broke at once in a mad dash for position.
Here on the outside comes Rosemont in a good position.
For the next half mile, Pollard patiently threaded Seabiscuit through the pack before finally tucking in behind the front runner.
Half a mile, and the time for the first quarter over this track was 22 and 2.
Rosemont, meanwhile, was on the move from behind, darting in and out of the field, inching up on the outside.
Position, and Seabiscuit is now moving up and is challenging as they turn.
At the top of the home stretch, Seabiscuit swung into the lead with Rosemont hard on his heels.
Seabiscuit has got the lead, and the battle is on, and it's anybody's race right to the end.
It looked like he had it. And they were running down mid-stretch with a clear lead, and Red Pollard froze. This was the biggest moment in his career, and he stopped urging the horse. For 15 strides, he just sat there, and he started slowing down.
With only 50 yards to go, Pollard suddenly snapped into action and dropped the whip across Seabiscuit's flank. The two horses hurtled under the wire together.
Formula helps prevent residues from settling on dishes, so they get so clean virtually nothing is left but shine.
Like mother, like daughter.
Grandma, let's go!
Cascade Pure Rinse Formula.
Now, let's have a fun time with the real Josie. Lovely Josie glows and hot. Light up Josie. Want a soda? Yeah! Right!
Chicken yum.
Jump it up with new Checkerman bubble yum.
Yum.
Chicken so good. Jump it up with bubble yum. Chicken
yum.
Chicken.
And boy 2 stands 2 yards from boy 1. How many times does boy 3 have to jump before the log breaks?
Oh, Marty, we're killing them. Do you feel the crowd's enthusiasm?
No, I don't, Juanita, but I do feel the draft. Something tells me I should have worn tails.
When I go camping, you know why my tent always stays up? Because I have perfect pitch. You know, that was a long and painful way to introduce one of our powerful music montages, but it's over now. See? I'm sorry. See? See. Perfect, huh?
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore. And love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. Love was made for me and you. Love was made for me and you.
Myers is all new January 8th. Only.
Scheiben Jewelers in Strongsville welcomes you to Ohio's premier jewelry store, providing you with the finest jewelry from designers all over the world, with giftware from leading artisans like Armani, Swarovski, and Yadro, and an extensive selection of engagement settings and loose diamonds to create the ideal ring for the ideal person, featuring the world's leading writing instruments and Swiss-made timepieces. Scheiben Jewelers, an experience that lasts a lifetime.
Bulgy eyes. Feathers, fur everywhere.
Yeah, and pigs can fly.
Mrs. Hayden, you say that it was something to do with liquid. Was it a medicine of some kind?
No.
It wasn't a medicine. Did he make this liquid?
No.
He didn't make this. Did he buy it?
Did he buy it?
He bought it.
No.
Did he buy it? Did he swim in it?
Yes, he bought it.
He bought it.
He bought it.
Well, excuse us. We have to have a small contract. We'll be back any hour now. So the answer is no, he did not buy this liquid.
Oh, he didn't buy this liquid.
No.
Can it be bought? Is it for sale?
Mm.
Is it a small portion?
No, it is not a small portion of liquid.
Something large like a lake or a body of water?
Precisely so.
Is it a lake?
It is not a lake, no.
Is it a river?
Mm-hmm.
It is a river?
Mm-hmm.
Is it that your father swam across a river? Jumped in the river?
It is $20 down and $60 to go. Your last question,
Did he jump in a river?
He did jump in a river, yes. That is not stated in the secret, however. Mr.
Mrs. Hayden is your married name, is that correct?
Yes.
Is your maiden name by any chance Brody?
Yes,
Is your father Steve Brody?
Her father is Steve Brody, who jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge. Tonight, Miss Hayden, you didn't win too much money. I hope you had fun. She is the only living child of Steve Brody, who jumped off the bridge in 1886. Thanks so much to the makers of Arid for being with us. Mrs. Hayden, do come back and see us again. Bye-bye. With her orchid on, too.
This one's going to Grandma's house. This one's winning a 4-day, 2,000-mile endurance race.
Now we come to the main
In the competitive world of home computers, the Commodore 64 is absolutely unbeatable. With its enormous 64K memory, its printers, plotter, disk drive, monitor, and its vast range of software, we believe the only thing the Commodore 64 doesn't have is any serious competition. The Commodore 64. Never forget it's the world's biggest selling home computer.
Dinner time? Breakfast time? Why let the clock decide? Time to say, hey clock, you're not the boss of me. Dinner at IHOP. Everything on our entire menu, served all day at the International House of Free.
Day after day, readers were titillated by the lurid allegations of sordid behavior reported in sensational and sometimes embroidered detail by the press. Though the first trial ended in a hung jury, San Francisco DA Matthew Brady didn't hesitate to go after Arbuckle again. Arbuckle's defense team hired a young detective and fledgling writer named Dashiell Hammett. His experiences investigating the seamier side of life in San Francisco would inspire him to create a whole new literary genre, the hard-boiled detective novel. Arbuckle was tried not once, not twice, but 3 times before finally being acquitted. It soon became clear, however, that the fat man had been found guilty in the court of public opinion. Innocent or not, Fatty Arbuckle's career was over. Despite the notoriety of the Arbuckle case, San Francisco and Hollywood maintained a mutual admiration society that would last throughout the 1920s. From blue bloods to blue collars, it seemed that San Franciscans couldn't get enough of the movies. And the city also served as the backdrop for a number of their favorite films. In 1923, when Cecil B. DeMille conceived his first version of the Ten Commandments, he chose St. Peter and Paul's Church, still under construction, for the contemporary scenes in the film. And to the great delight of the women of the city, Rudolph Valentino, the Sheik himself, came to the Embarcadero to film a waterfront epic about a Shanghai sailor called Moran of the Lady Letty. Film productions came and went, but going to the movies became a way of life for San Franciscans. And in those days, going to the movies was an event.
Want free movies? Blockbuster announces a free rewards membership. Earn free rentals on DVDs, VHS movies, and games. Sign up for your free 90-day trial Blockbuster Rewards membership. Now guaranteed on DVD, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. From director Ang Lee, a tale of romance, revenge, and redemption. Starring Chow Yun-fat, Michelle Yeoh, and Zhang Ziyi. From Columbia TriStar Home Entertainment, rated PG.
Spring, and guarantees are in full bloom. Now, during Sears Days, hurry in for the season's lowest prices on lots of the best brands going. The only thing limited about this sale is how long it goes on. Sears Days, don't miss them.
Saturday, we've got Courage on Cartoonolio and scary double features on Cartoon Theater. Then on Halloween, it's a 24-hour Scooby-Doo marathon. Night of the Living Doo! October on Cartoon Network. I've got chills.
It's a real thing. Coke is, that's the way it should be. Coca-Cola, something well watched to see. Oh yeah, real thing. Coca-Cola, real thing. Coca-Cola is Coke.
頭が下がる思いでございます。さて今度は轟音轟かせて迫ってまいります大竜巻です。その危険映像をどうぞ。
1991年4月26日、前例のない超大型竜巻がカンザス州を直撃。それはまさに未曾有の恐怖だった。カメラを持って竜巻を追いかけ、至近距離からその状況をラジオで実況中継するのが私の仕事です。あの時の竜巻は時速50キロものスピードで進んでいました。目の前で家の屋根が吹き飛んだのを覚えています。
勢力はアンドバーの町に入ったあたりで最大になった。実に幅数百メートルに成長。電線を断ち切り、家屋を破壊。車さえも地上数十メートルにまで持ち上げ、辺りにその破片をまき散らした。通った後は破壊し尽くされた無残な瓦礫が散乱するばかり。人々は悲鳴を上げ、ひたすら逃げる以外もはやなすすべもない。それはまさに怒れる大自然の前では人間などほんの虫けらにしか過ぎないということを証明する恐るべき地獄絵図であった。庭師のパースリー老人は強風の中、なんと自分のトラックの下敷きになってしまった。
突然空からトラックが降ってきたんです。信じられませんでした。
It's Bosley's Law. She who buys bargain trash bags can be penny wise, but trash foolish. Glad trash bags are made with 3 plies of stress flex that lets the bag stretch without breaking. Why take chances? Get Glad.
And that still is a mystery. Scientists now believe that a shark can pick up the scent of food up to half a mile away. And as it closes in, a range of about 100 yards, it switches to sense number 3. On each side of a shark's back, just beneath the skin, is a long tube. It's called the lateral line, and inside it there are literally millions of tiny supersensitive hairs designed to pick up the minutest vibration in the water. As it closes in for the kill, sense number 4, vision. But at the crucial moment, vision deserts it. Watch its eye again in slow motion.
Remember when a big bust in Hollywood didn't involve jail time? TMZ. Online now. On TV this fall. You make them stars. We make them real. TMZ on TV.
Happy Christmas, kids.
Happy Christmas, Mom.
Hey, everyone! Look what I found!
Commodore's new computer compendium gives your family thousands of interesting and enjoyable things to do.
Adrian Moe.
Oh, great! You choose, Rebecca.
You can play exciting games like Adrian Moe.
Hooray! What you doing, Dad?
Capturing the beauties of nature, son.
You can draw fabulous pictures. You can even play music. Rescue your family from boredom this Christmas with the Commodore Computer Compendium.
Case of athlete's foot, and you're benched. You get that itching, the cracking, the burning. That's when you want a medicine that acts tough. Boom! Tough Actin Tenactin. It cures even tough cases of athlete's foot. Get Tough Actin Tenactin.
I'm Mark John Jeffries, and I'm here to talk with you about People PC. What is People PC, you ask? It's simple. 1, a new brand name PC replaced every 3 years. 2, unlimited internet. 3, in-home service. Yep, if all else fails, they come to you. 4, great deals on stuff you like from places you know. All for as little as $24.95 a month. That's it?
No, that's not all of it. Call People PC now and you get a choice. A powerful desktop like this IBM PC for as little as $24.95 a month for 36 months. Or a fully loaded IBM ThinkPad for as little as $49.95 a month for 36 months. And who but People PC offers all this at no extra cost? 3 years of internet access, 3 years of in-home service on all our desktops, and People PC member deals.
America, now you have a choice.
Desktop or laptop. Call People PC today at 1-800-PEOPLE-PC.
renegades.
I'm just going to have to do whatever I want to do.
Rebels.
Yeah.
And pop icons. Misfits.
It doesn't matter. You're a nerd in life and you'll be a nerd always.
And millionaires.
It's a good way to explore the nature of truth.
Forget the pocket protector.
I want to make toys for myself.
Meet the nerds of the 21st century. Nerd Nation, a new series coming in January to techtv.
20s did not have the gangster element like Chicago and New York. There was a general feeling in San Francisco that vice should be homegrown, that vice in San Francisco belonged to the locals.
In an increasingly lawless age, San Francisco remained relatively peaceful, in part because there was an understanding between the San Francisco police and locals.
The rule was you can do what you want to do as long as there's no rough stuff. Between 1928 and 1932, 4 years, there were 6 gangland slayings in San Francisco. I mean, they had that many in Chicago in a week. Now, I know Chicago is much larger than San Francisco, but it's not 50 times larger.
Not only was San Francisco a smaller city and therefore easier to police, it was also geographically isolated. In the 20s, there weren't any bridges, so police could keep a closer watch on who came into town.
There was a special group of police detectives assigned to the points of entry of San Francisco, primarily the train station and the ferry building. These detectives were to look for criminals and undesirables coming into town. If they were a criminal and they were wanted, they were immediately arrested. If they were just undesirable, they were told in no uncertain terms, under the threat of being arrested for vagrancy, to get out of town.
There's even a story, and it may be apocryphal, that Al Capone was considering expanding into San Francisco.
Today, there's the ProStep patch. It's a nicotine transdermal system.
It's a patch.
We just heard about it. ProStep. It's available only by prescription.
It's ProStep. I'm going to ask my doctor about it.
ProStep.
It's going to Summerfest? If you are, be sure to check out the totally cool Smilage Circus, sponsored by the Smilage people. These bright, smiling faces won 2 tickets to Summerfest. Michelle Ann Nakarat, Jamal Scott, Jessica Barrett, and Jacob Cleffin Jr. We've got a lot of awesome things coming up this summer. Keep watching Fox 24. It's way cool.
Why do some women leave for work looking like they just stepped out of a salon?
Salon Selected. Salon Shine. Salon Selected. Salon Beautiful.
From Helene Curtis, Salon Selected's 5 shampoos, 5 conditioners. Select the personalized combination you need for Salon's beautiful hair.
Like you just stepped out of a salon. Salon Selected.
Are deadly. We pride ourselves in hunting only combat veterans, men who have the necessary skills to make our hunts more interesting.
And they always win.
You want to find your father? Get somebody who knows the city to show you around.
Now, the opposition is about to get one last chance.
What kind of a name is Chance?
My mama took one. Our friend Mr. Boudreaux, Silver Star, Marine Force Recon. He's obviously not someone we should underestimate. He's an annoying little insect. I want him stepped on hard.
We need to get out of here now.
Ladies first.
What?
These men will chase after you. You mad at you for business or pleasure?
Both. Look at it this way. You're gonna get to meet Elvis. Give it a rest, pal.
Jean-Claude Van Damme is the hard target.
You miss me?
From internationally acclaimed action director John Woo.
How's it feel to be hunted? You tell me.
Hard target.
Dear Post Office, thanks for your overnight service that even delivers on Christmas Day.
I knew they were safe and sound thanks to those packaging supplies you showed me.
The money order was a great last-minute gift idea.
And my nephew will get a real kick out of those stamps.
You told me how I could mail my gifts overseas quickly.
And your hours were just so convenient.
You really helped me handle the holidays. Thank you.
Dear customers, you're welcome.
Others take a more exotic journey into the next world, including launching one's remains into space. But most corpses take up residence in those cities of the dead we call cemeteries.
Well, they're called cities of the dead for the most immediate reason is that they resemble small-scale cities, particularly if you look at an aerial view of them.
We plan them carefully. We have business in them. We have deviance that occurs in them. They, in some sense, are both these sacred realms that are outside of our daily routine lives, and at the same time, they are reflections of those, and part of those, and in some sense shape those.
Above ground, the human history of cemeteries is made of stone and sings of eternity. But beneath, that history is made of flesh forever altered by the insidious process of decomposition. In as little as 10 years, the skin of the corpse begins to loosen and sag, turning to liquid and toxic gas, or in extreme conditions, drying to a mummified mask. The bones, even in a well-made casket, remain whole only for a few hundred years. Nonetheless, it's comforting to think of death as peaceful slumber and cemeteries as pleasant places, where a single soul may be glorified, or millions speak in a single voice. At the dawn of history, the dead were left to rot.
We now return to the Cardiff Giant. After spending a reported $2,600 on
Recruit a team of teenagers with attitudes. Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Mighty Morphin Power Rangers!
Mapalayo ka man, dala mo pa rin na sarap na kilala mo. Presto Creams, sarap na kilala.
He fought against oppression in Algeria. He was a man who lived with death. Perhaps that's why he wrote so passionately about capital punishment, what he called the devastating, degrading fear that the condemned man knows. For months, for years, a punishment more terrible than death. These are the hands of Carol Chessman. He was condemned to die for kidnapping in 1948. For 11 years, 344 days, 6 hours, Chessman lives in death row in San Quentin, a few steps from this chamber. Then the state of California straps him in a chair and turns on the gas.
Over my head, I see freedom in the air.
The lynching tree, which had claimed hundreds of Negro lives in this century, by 1960 finds only occasional use. The Supreme Court has decreed the end of segregation, but no court can compel a change in the human heart.
There are a lot of phonies who will stand up and tell you that
Oh, well, all are equal in the eyes of God. How silly can you get? Christ himself was the greatest teacher of segregation. You never yet found a blackbird in a bluebird's nest, unless he was there to steal the eggs. And it applies to any animal that lives. You mix with your own kind.
The Knights of the Ku Klux Klan dispense their poison, and educated blacks begin to question their future in America.
If we're going to continue as a racist society where Negroes are to be subservient and discriminated against, if I determine that this is the way the society is going, I'm leaving. I will not bring up my son in this sort of environment. I don't feel he deserves that.
Says I look just like the Gerber baby. I've changed a bit. And so has Gerber. Now they don't have any added sugar or starch in over 100 recipes. Shouldn't your baby be a Gerber baby?
Days off. It's all there.
And it's very easy to get at, too.
Yes,
and Roxy, you would use all this stuff in putting a line on a baseball game?
I use a lot of it. The keys are how the teams do against righties and lefties, and day-night performance also.
Okay, can you tell us who's going to win the pennant this year, Robin?
We do have the odds on that. We're probably one of the first up there. Roxy provides that with us.
Well, if you're a New Yorker, you'll probably be happy because we've got both New York teams' favorite, the Mets to repeat and win the National League. They're 7-5 favorites, and the Yankees to be the American League champions. They're 7-2 favorites.
Roxy, there's lots of different sports that people gamble on, obviously. I was wondering, any particular sport in which the computer is really a big advantage?
Yes, it's the biggest advantage in college basketball because we have to chart and track 162 teams. There's thousands of variables. There's injuries to chart for every team. There's just so much that without this service, it would be almost impossible.
Huge database, then.
Yes.
I guess, Robin, as you said, you're the Dow Jones of the sports world.
Of the sports world, right.
Robin, Roxy, thank you very much. As we saw at the beginning of the program, horse racing depends very much on computers for its betting system, and one of the newest and most modern computerized betting systems is here at Golden Gate Fields in the San Francisco Bay Area. Wendy Woods has that report.
While certain traditions at the track will never fall under the spell of technology, the business of racetrack betting has at many fields been automated to a level as sophisticated as the nation's election system. Unlike the old days of just a few years ago, relay systems and tallying by individual clerks have been replaced by massive computerized betting systems. Here at Golden Gate Fields in Albany, California, the odds, the race results, and up to $3 million in bets placed daily pass through 7 continuously operating phone lines to the brains of the operation, a mainframe at the nearby Bay Meadows racetrack. Bettors can still go face-to-face with humans for their wagers, but the clerks all use terminals linked up to the system. The more adventurous bettor can use a self-serve betting machine.
People always ask me where I got my auburn hair. From my mother.
Our mother's hair is brown.
How else could I get color as natural as this?
Nice and easy. Works with your own tones and highlights.
How else could I get these lights and darks?
It works with your own tones and highlights.
Isn't it amazing how nature works?
Isn't it amazing how nice and easy works?
Hey, what can I say? This is my color.
It is now. Nice and easy from Clairol, the true color of you.
This isn't one of those coffees you sit and sip as the world passes you by. Introducing new Folgers Cafe Latte. Delicious coffeehouse-style taste sensations. It's richer, coffeeer, and frothier than the other guy. So it's not the coffee you drink to take a break from your day. It's the coffee you drink to break into it. New Folgers Cafe Latte.
Hey, Dennis Anderson can do the same thing and has been. Let's see what's going to happen. On the start, Carolina Crusher seems to get an edge. It's a close one, but Crusher wins by 1/100th of a second. The crowd is on its feet cheering for Carolina Crusher. Carolina Crusher has taken out everybody tonight by cutting a good light, almost anticipating what's going to happen, and he does it to Gravedigger. A close race, but Digger could not match the reaction time of Crusher. Gary Porter told us he had the flu. I think it's Gravedigger that's going boo-hoo right now. Jim Davidson is standing by with our winner, Gary Porter.
Gary, get in here, man. Congratulations. You went ahead.
Right.
You beat Gravedigger in the finals. You put him away. But are you timing things? How are you doing this? How are you getting on the line and getting the whole shot on everybody?
Well, I'm actually watching the power going up the drop cord to the light. That's how I'm leaving before everybody else is. No, I'm just trying to leave as quick as I can, watch the light, and trying to get a good hole shot. I've geared the truck, accordingly for this track so I can make all my horsepower in 15 to 20 feet here and try to get, the whole shot and get some mile per hour while I'm flying through the air.
You're right on the line between redlining. I mean, if I was out there, if I was a USHRA official, I might be ready to pull the trigger on you for redlining because you're getting a jump like I have never seen before.
Yeah, well, that's sort of the gamble we having to take, and, luckily I didn't red light at this race, and, but I'm trying to cut them just as close as I can.
Congratulations, man.
I'm anxious to see now, since they've regroomed these tracks, they've requested the drivers. We're right at that 4-second barrier. Let's see if anybody's going to bump into the 4-second barrier. If that's the case, and the drivers were indeed right, they needed to change those ramps.
Well, there is Gary Porter in the cockpit of the Chevrolet, the Carolina Crusher. There is the Ford Power Wheels Bigfoot with Dan Runte.
Believe it or not, that monster truck has a set of weld wheels on it.
Famous racing family out of the Kansas City, Missouri area.
Now they're in the monster truck.
And there is a look at the Carolina Crusher in the...
Welcome to Fort Baxter.
Let's go, campers! Wakey, wakey!
Where the standards are low. I'm just so proud. The morale is high.
We have rules and regulations.
Are these yours? It is my understanding that you can no longer ask me these questions. And discipline is a dirty word.
Make the bad man stop.
I'm telling you, he's a boob! Steve Martin is Sergeant Bilko, rated PG. Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
Chevy Sign and Drive.
The comfortable,
Smart way to get into a new Chevrolet.
0 down, 0 security deposit, 0 due at signing.
And leave your checkbook at home.
Buy an 06 Impala and get 0% APR financing. Or qualified lessees can get a low mileage lease on an 06 Impala LT for around $259 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details.
Click on ChevyOffers.com to find your nearest dealer.
When you travel at over 300 miles per hour, you need all the protection you...
Get ready to soak up the sun and have some fun. It's time to bop with Kids Bop 3, an all-new collection of songs recorded for kids by the Kids Bop Kids. This 2-CD collection is not available in any store.
Hey, baby, hey, baby, hey. No matter what I do.
Kids Bop 3 will have you singing and jumping. It's over 100 minutes of fun packed into one amazing collection.
Don't let me get me. I feel so alive.
You can order Kids Bop 3 online at MusicSpaceKids.com.
Kids Bop 3.
Bop non-stop with Kids Bop 3. To order, call the number on your screen or log on to MusicSpaceKids.com. You must be 18 or older to call or log on.
It's Nick Jr.'s play-along time, and we're playing with Dora.
Get on the Pontiac and ride!
The new Grand Prix, Motor Trend's car of the year. You've got to drive it.
Get on the Pontiac! We feel excitement! From the land of sky blue waters, from the land of pines,
Pour yourself an ice-cold Hamm's and enjoy the premium beer from the land of sky blue waters. Have a Hamm's. You deserve it.
Hamm's, beer refreshing. Hamm's, beer refreshing. Hamm's.
about backyard baseball is that you can play just about anywhere, including inside. Because right now at DQ, you can get toys from the popular CD-ROM game, Backyard Baseball. You can pick your favorite with a DQ Kids meal or 99 cents with the purchase of any Blizzard. Or you can collect all 6 and have your own Backyard Baseball game. Backyard Baseball toys, only at DQ. Plus, if eligible, you can enter for a chance to win a $2,000 cash prize or an all-expense-paid trip to the Ripken Baseball Camp Tour. Many will enter, few will win. Official rules of participating DQ restaurants.
That's what I like. I mean, the enterprise to do this, you know, there are people all around at this age level who are trying to make their name in the movies. You don't make your name necessarily doing Henry V on film. And I think it's great that he did it, and I think it's great that he got the notoriety he has achieved.
My next choice is Mary Stuart Masterson, and she is a wonderful young actress who got 2 ideal roles last year. Her first big movie role was in 1985's great movie At Close Range, where she played Sean Penn's confused girlfriend.
You know what I don't get is why they let everybody else out and they set Brad's bail so high.
And in Some Kind of Wonderful in 1987, she played a tomboy in love with a guy who thinks of her only as his best friend, if he only knew.
I know how you feel.
Oh, you do, really? You've been in love before.
There's a lot of things you don't know about me.
Also that year, Francis Ford Coppola gave her an important role in Gardens of Stone as a young Marine's wife.
Men come home crazy and broken and cold.
But probably the best role of Mary Stuart Masterson's career came last year in Chances Are, when she played a young woman who dates her reincarnated father without realizing it.
God, you sure have grown up nicely.
I'm glad you approve.
Good night.
Night.
And she gave a completely opposite but just as effective performance last year in Immediate Family as a young woman considering giving up her baby for adoption.
You and Michael been married for 10 years? How do you do it? How do you stay married that long?
If there was one thread in common in all of Mary Stuart Masterson's characters, it's a strong will and a lot of courage. She plays brave and stubborn young women as well as anyone around, and she does it in such a way that we feel a lot of sympathy for her. There aren't a lot of actresses who can convincingly play a genuinely heroic woman without looking silly, but Masterson can, and she can do it with conviction. Because a lot of her early work was in movies that did poorly